Welcome to Frame Trap. We're going to talk about some games here as always. But before we do, check out patreon.com/easyallies. That's how you could support us. It would mean the world to us if you headed on over there and support us. If you can, we'd appreciate it. If you can't, it's all good. Just glad to have you here listening.
Yes.
We had so many damn games to talk about. Stacked week. I was hoping you would only bring 2, Huber, but you're just like, no, I'm doing one more.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, dude, we'll just fit it in. We got to do it. It's a big one. It is a big one, so it is nice that we're covering a lot. So the first thing we're going to talk about is finally the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters came out on console, PlayStation 4, and Switch.
Yeah.
Finally here. Damiani, you played some of them on PC before, but now you're playing them on Switch. And Huber, you're also playing... Number one on PS4. So why don't you guys... You're playing 1 and 2, right?
So I finished 1 and 2.
Okay, so that's what you played.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about 1 and 2 today.
And I played 4 on PC and a lot of 6 on PC.
Right. Nice. So let's talk about them. What's going on?
First, let's point out that the physical version of this you cannot get anime.
I've seen this.
Sold out.
Going down,
Square Enix doesn't appear to be reprinting the physical version.
Ooh.
So you could buy them digitally.
Right.
But if you want like a physical version, you must go to Scalper's Paradise, aka eBay.
Ooh.
And
$300 or what?
Yeah, they're like upwards of starting at $200, I think now. And people are not happy.
Oh. I've let go of physical in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I'm curious. I didn't look into this. Is it just all the games on one cartridge for the physical, or does it come with 6 cartridges?
I think it's just 1.
Because
they're small.
When you get a digital, they're all independent. They're individual games.
Yes, I don't think it's 6. That seems expensive.
So I want to know what I want to know what the UI looks like when you boot up the cartridge. Then, like, do you get to select the game? Like, I'm curious what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
There's like something special about that. Like, I'll feel a little bummed out, you know. But whatever.
Maybe if you put it in, it'll put all 6.
I think
just anyways.
I think it might just give you the icon for like all 6, and then anyway, I'd be curious. I should just look it up after. Anyway.
Well, Damiani, you said before we started filming, you got some takes.
Like,
do you want to get into those, or you just want to?
I don't know. I think like you might have like read too much into.
Yeah, we don't have to come out with shock and blast.
Tony said opinions, and then I took it as takes.
So
okay.
I actually Final Fantasy 2. I think a lot of people generally don't have a favorable opinion about it.
No, because the combat system.
I feel like it stems a little bit from potentially people who maybe didn't either really play the game or played a little bit, and it just wasn't Final Fantasy 1. This plays back into like the 80s, early 90s. A lot of like these old sequels, like the second entry would be radically different because the notion of a series wasn't really a thing yet for any video game. I mean, Castlevania 2, notoriously different. Zelda 2, notoriously different. Super Mario Brothers 2, the one we got here, notoriously different.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
2, arcade
super
game,
different.
but that one was probably viewed as an improvement, whereas a lot of these other ones weren't. Metal Gear 2, the one we got here, the disavowed Kojima one, didn't even work on it. Snake's Revenge. Disavowed. They got Solid Snake. We got Snake's Revenge.
This cartridge will self-destruct.
Seeing as you play a little bit of 1, like
dude, yes.
I'm curious because 1 is a pretty straightforward, like, basic experience. And a lot of the challenge of these games isn't necessarily that like I didn't find it like necessarily you have to grind a lot in these games, except at like certain points. Infamously, before the final bosses, it's pretty much like a hard check at the end. It's like, do you know unless you know the tricks, you're kind of like gated. But that's kind of like the name of the game, is knowing what everything does and knowing how to utilize it against enemies.
Yeah.
And I feel like the hardest thing about these games, these older Final Fantasies, is knowledge and information. Despite the effort that Pixel Remasters do to kind of like streamline a lot of it, like the auto saving, making sure that you like don't lose a lot of progress if you do die. You can just like, just go back to the start of a floor and try again or get the heck out of there. There's just a lack of information. Totally. I feel like the ability to scan, you can't see enemy HP, can't see enemy weaknesses. Even items don't have proper descriptions. They have like stats, but like example is in Final Fantasy 2, I had played it once before and finished it. And I remember just grinding a lot to beat that one. I still didn't know at this point that there's something called the Blood Sword. I thought it was this like weak ass sword, but apparently it's like the most powerful weapon in the game for bosses because there's 1/16. Every hit does 1/16th of any enemy's HP.
Wow.
So on low level enemies, it like looks like it sucks.
Yeah.
But like on a big final boss who has like thousands of HP, it's your
That's
most
good.
powerful weapon. This is that first hit. You're gonna take them so low. It's like, wait a second. And every strat I looked up, I was like, the Blood Sword. I'm like, I sold that shit. I can't get it anymore because it doesn't say it does that.
Yeah.
None of them say. Then like, oh, use the ancient sword. I'm like, that was an earlier sword I sold too. I was like, what? So they don't really tell you this
So
stuff.
keep your items in that game. Is what you're telling me,
well,
or weapons.
I feel like these games were like Zelda, like FromSoft games. They were designed for the sharing of knowledge, but a lot of this stuff, I'm like, how did people even figure this out in the first place?
Trial
I'm
and
so
error.
blown away.
Yeah.
Like, just paying attention, noticing, like, you just notice, but like HP pools, you don't see them, so how do you even know it's doing 1/16th? I was like, wait, what? How do you figure this out?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, part of the intrigue of those old games is if you play it by yourself, like, some of this stuff, you're like, how does it work? Then you go look up online, and it's like just a bastion of knowledge. And it really is, they don't make them like they used to, I guess, when you look at these games.
The Final Fantasy 1 is where I started on NES originally. So like going back to it now is a trip. Played it on PSP, never beat it because just didn't know what the hell to do because you're talking about the lack of direction, right? So now, way older, way wiser, not backing down. I like haven't really been lost yet because you just play so many games. It's like, okay, just talk to everyone in town, figure it out. They kind of give you a little bit of direction. Like maybe you should try the castle on the west side or whatever. And I just love how Damiani, you're talking about just how like little there is, and I think that's kind of cool because like every skill kind of matters. It's like, all right, what do I really want to slot here? Like nothing really feels like filler because there's such a limited amount of moves you can do. Gear is so limited, so it's like, all right, I'll buy this upgrade because it's like the only one that I've seen in 4 towns. It's like,
and the first games especially.
Yeah.
Tale of Two Cities here. First game, economy. It's
dude.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like spells.
Like 2,000?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is it?
It is a struggle.
Yeah, it
so
is
we're
good.
talking
It is
about
good.
remember we talking about like a RE4 remake and like ammo crafting,
Yeah.
like your choice here. This is like it's not necessarily a choice. Like you can try and play style, but like there are definitely spells if you know what they do, like are game changers.
Yeah.
They absolutely will make your life so much easier. Like
Fyra is like insane because it just attacks everyone. So it's like, all right, this is classic Final Fantasy right here.
the
but-
number one thing besides like heal you need to get is poisona, or the thing that cleanses poison.
Yep.
However you pronounce it.
Asuna?
Well, no,
Or is it
it's
not that
different
in
in
it?
this one.
Okay.
There is no Asuna in this one. This one, it is
Just Poisona? Okay.
Poisona. And because I feel like at least half the enemies of the game poison you, and it is
Brutal.
It is like hardcore,
Miyazaki be
hardcore,
pleased.
and like antidotes cost a lot.
I checked
so-
too. I was like, okay, I'm poisoned. Will it wear off? Nope. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to town and sleep.
Nope.
Will it wear off?
Nope.
So
It's like you have to
jolly.
let your character die,
I made
and then res them, which costs money.
Yeah. I made myself the warrior, Brad the thief, Damiani the white mage, and Dawn the black mage.
Sick, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I rolled
Wait,
with-
no monk?
No monk, no red mage.
Yeah, I went with monk, but like
Thief seems like strong as
Sure.
shit.
Yeah.
I was like, why is the thief hitting so strong, dude?
I
It's nuts.
feel like
I don't know.
I misunderstood what I need to do with monk because especially on the final boss, it felt useless pretty much.
Maybe it doesn't scale as well later. as some
Yeah,
other
maybe
jobs.
it's just good in the early game, but I really felt like I needed to either bring like 2 warriors and white mage, black mage felt essential, but like maybe like red mage would have even been better because it was just really holding me back towards the end. But yeah, man, like once you get like some of those spells, like black mage just like annihilates. Yeah.
I think the absolute biggest quality of life change, especially for new players, is being able to turn battles off.
Yeah.
Because that
random
really
encounters.
is
Trying to go through a dungeon, you don't know where you're going.
Trying to go through a dungeon, you don't know where you're going. And it just saves so much time because the strategy when you can't do that is like, all right, kind of lurk around town. I don't want to get too far away.
Right.
I don't want to get caught and have to like travel all the way back, and then I'll just get annihilated there. So just being able to like turn them off to explore and turn them off to like speed up your grind because it's like, all right, do a bunch of battles. All right, I'm low on health. Turn it off. Go back to town. Yeah. It's like really game changing for sure.
These versions have new things like that though too, right, Damiani? Where like you can adjust XP you get and gil. I've seen that, I believe now.
Oh, maybe it does, and I just
haven't checked. I think these new versions do that were not on the PC.
So all I saw,
maybe some of the other games do, but I'm pretty sure these do.
Maybe in the control thing you can bring up that shows you what everything does. There is an auto battle which will repeat the last action you did.
Okay.
And then there's turn off random encounters and turn them on. Maybe I just and pay attention to the beginning.
Maybe it's not in these two then.
But like
I'm
they don't
pretty
have
sure
like the option to like refill your HP, MP, anything like that.
No, it's not like that. It was more like the amount of XP you get and the gil you earn.
I thought that was like in the later ones.
Is that in the later ones? Like, okay, but 6. That was new. That was not in the PC version, as far as I'm aware.
That one I'm not like too sure about. But in terms of like other quality of life, besides the like auto save, they have like some of like the more modern things. Like there's an NPC now who will like give you like the dancer in the main town.
She's on it. Was she in the PSP version?
I forget which version she was first added in.
Because she really helps.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, maybe you should check this place out.
She doesn't always have, you have to like have triggered something for her to like know what to give you for advice. But sometimes, it is helpful because the first game is very, it is very cryptic.
It is so cryptic.
It's like, where do I go now? Thankfully though, you kind of are locked out from where you can go in the world. There's only so many places you can go.
Yeah.
Whereas Final Fantasy,
docks, right? Because of the ship.
I will say Final Fantasy 2 is completely different. Final Fantasy 2 offers you a lot of freedom, but there's a caveat with that when we get to it. But Final Fantasy 1, it is very gated. You can like wander around a lot and like just roam and get into a lot of random encounters, but you're not going to be able to go like too far off until you get you get the boat, later you get the airship. And then there's like a part where, like the northern hemisphere stuff, like you're really locked out till you get like the airship because the boat, can't even get up there.
Yeah.
You have to like remember the biggest thing was like when you get the explosives for the dwarfs, so you could like blow open and make the canal, so you could like I'll stop. That part was like a big thing because it opens up the ocean, and now you can kind of explore more of the world. That was like the first big, because you're like kind of like in that small little. It feels like a lake, but it is like a sea. They call it a sea, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but
dude, the biggest trip. This has got to be the first time you've played it since Jack Garland.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And it was dude, when it starts and it's like, this disgraced warrior. It was like just how it framed it. I was like, this is weird and awesome.
Yeah, and they like the enemy types. A lot of the classic enemies obviously start here. Not all of them are in there. No Sid in this one, I believe. Only Sid's in 2.
Yeah.
And
when did the Tomberries show up?
Not yet.
When's
I don't know when Tomberry
showed up. 2. Marlboro's in 2. That was like the terror, but like the Ochus, the little plant dudes, were in 1. I was actually surprised. But like classic ones like goblins.
Yeah, goblins definitely.
There's some really cool enemy designs. I feel like in both these early games.
Yeah, they have really cool monsters.
Casual. Who's the artist?
Amano?
Amano.
Yeah. When did he start working on Final Fantasy? The first one?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
He does all the box arts for the Japanese ones, at least.
Go into the gallery and the extras, man, and take a look at some of that artwork.
He did.
insane.
Was he the? I think he was the lead artist and like character artist for the first 6, wasn't he? I think it wasn't until 7 when Nomura became the character designer. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Dope.
He's been doing like the logos since
forever. And he still does them,
So dope.
which is sick.
Cool.
Yeah,
so dope.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 1, it's cool to see the origins. I mean, it's a product of its time in terms of like we're saying it's a little cryptic.
Yeah, is it 87? I want to say. So it's very old.
Yeah,
it's 36 years
90
old.
here or something. Yeah, it's final boss like was the real like check. Like for me, my strat was always like go around and grind like a few levels right away.
Yeah.
And
Smart.
then move on. But your thing about like the encounter thing, I want to comment on that real quick because it applies to Final Fantasy 1. Yeah, like it's definitely useful in that way,
Yeah.
but I would caution anyone about using it too much to move forward because the game definitely expects that you are fighting a lot of this stuff.
Definitely.
So
I'm so much wiser to like min-max nowadays. Just like it's so much. It just is like ingrained into my DNA now, Damiani.
yeah, it's nice to like especially if you get through a dungeon and you clear it and it's like they show you how many chests are in there and you clearly miss some. Instead of having to go back and backtrack through all of it, you can like turn off the random encounters, go through, find the missing chest you got. But also like as an escape thing. I mean, there are teleport spells that let you like leave, but if you don't have those, this is like another option for you to like back out, get to safety. Use a cottage. That's the other thing. There are like no ways to do those like big save point like
No
party
tents.
heal things. No tents, no cottages, no sleeping bags in dungeons until unless they added them in 3. I haven't played 3. This is the next one up, but 4 had them, but 1 and 2 do not have those. So these are very punishing, and it is funny to look at these dungeon designs when you use random encounter off. They're so simple and basic. They're so empty.
Yeah.
Like some of them look nice, but some of them are very empty.
Yeah. It's like a couple doors,
But
a stairwell. Like that's it.
but Final Fantasy 2, real quick.
Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Colt Smith wrote in, "Oh God, yes. Let's talk about Final Fantasy, my favorite series of all time, hands down. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on 2. I think its level up system caused a lot of people to scrub out, but I feel the game, story, ending, characters are top tier and genuinely laid some serious groundwork that would be drawn upon for the rest of time. How are you getting along with it, and do you agree or disagree with that line of thinking?"
All right, so I will say I think 2 is really underappreciated.
Okay. 2 is definitely the one that everyone poo-poos on.
Having
for
just
sure.
played both of them back to back,
Unanimously.
I would rather play 2 than 1. 1 has aged worse. It is more antiquated. The thing is, you have to put a little bit more thought into 2.
Well, 2 plays more like Saga. Eventually ends up, I believe, how it works, leveling up and stuff, and your weapons.
Sure, but it literally, mechanically, it is still the same as Final Fantasy 1. You have spells, you have your attacks, you have, like, this is the first game to introduce rows, so you can go to the back row. So if you have, like, an archer, you can stay back and take less damage. A lot of the more standardized spells started to appear in here, like, way more spells. Like, obviously, protect shell, you get barrier, you get wall, you get like blink, you get like you've had haste, but like in slow and silence, all that. But you get not what's it called, the big fire one, flare. You get holy, you get ultima, like a lot of these big spells. And the biggest thing is, you gotta use spells for them. Like as you fight, you are leveling up, but like it's not like a experience bar and a bunch of random stats go up each time. What you do will impact how you level up. So if you're attacking, you have weapon skill, like you
Some
level
immersive sim shit.
You have weapon levels.
Classic.
Yeah.
So like your weapon levels like
World of
go
Warcraft
up,
shit,
and
dude.
you can equip like whatever gear you want. You just go back to like level 1 when you like something new you haven't used. So like if you start, your main hero Furion is a sword user, you switch over to like an axe, it's like, all right, well, your proficiency went back down to 1, but you can keep leveling it up. And like as you kind of fight like remedial enemies, you'll eventually hit like a cap where it's like you need to fight harder stuff. You're really not getting your mileage out of this. So it actually kind of encourages you at times, like, man, if you're like not really gaining, you're seeing like lower diminishing returns here,
swap
it out to like
Start
get it up,
leveling
because
some
like
shit up. Love that shit.
Yes, I mean,
So fun.
they're like, it was nice not reading and knowing anything about like build stuff, because there's like a lot of guides talking about optimal builds, and it's like, no, I didn't like do
Oh
any
my
of that.
God.
But then like spells.
That's what gives me a headache sometimes.
So
I'm
this
just
game flips the economy. I didn't really. I'm like was swimming in money in this game. But the thing is, everyone has a cap on 24 like spells they can learn. So it's more about, it's easy to get the spells, but it's like not everyone can, you can't learn every single spell as any one character. So how do you want to divvy that up? And then they all have their levels. So you got to use them to level them up. So I kind of like, you realize like maybe I shouldn't give all the defensive spells to one person. I should spread it out because if they take 4 turns to cast that, that's 4 turns I'm wasting. Where if I spread it out amongst 4 characters, the first turn I could put up like all my stuff. I was like, you got to like pay attention to that. Also, the thing I will say is probably the hardest thing about this game is like it's a keyword system. So in order to advance the story, like I agree with everything I said. Love the story. The story is way better in the first one. Characters are way better. And it's like I really enjoy like the plot. It's like this emperor tried to conquer. He's like straight up destroying cities, murdering people. You have characters coming in and out of your party, and they like hard die. Like they're gone. They don't come back. They're gone. They perma die.
No Dragon Balls.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like it feels like there are stakes in this game, and it feels like it's a struggle. You're supposed to be like this giant mighty empire that's crushed your ass. You're trying to fight back, and it's gonna be tough at first. And it does feel like a struggle. But these keyword things, when you interact with key NPCs, words will appear like in green or red, and you can like memorize them, and then you have to like spit it back at them.
Memorized.
So you learn the word, and then you ask NPCs about it. And if you don't know the right keyword, you won't be able to trigger a response sometimes. And it's like, who was I supposed to go? So that I can understand that getting on people's nerves. That's probably
Damiani,
where it needs a little bit more guidance.
I played on PSP with a guide and still got lost and hard quit. I was following along a guide, but that was like 15 years ago. So
I will say like twice I was like I hadn't learned, like I missed out on talking to someone and like they had the phrase or I was supposed to ask them something, and yeah, that is a bummer. But like when you do it, it's very clear what you need to do. They even do added cutscene like things where the camera go to the overall map and like show you a spot. Kind of like I don't remember that being in if that was in the original or not.
Go here.
Yeah, and just the music, having like a slightly different like soundtrack. It's like the boss theme, the boss battle music in 2 is so good. Also, holy shit,
dude! The overall music in 1 reminds me of Ni no Kuni, Damiani.
It's all around great
Shades
music.
Of Kuni,
yeah, I'm serious.
The battle theme in Final Fantasy, I didn't understand it at first, and then I heard, I was like, holy! I played it, so when I first played Final Fantasy 2, it was before Final Fantasy 14 came out.
Oh,
so it was like on mobile, like in 2010 or 2009 or something.
Yeah.
So I forgot, like I hadn't played in like over like probably like 14, 15 years. So I don't remember the music except for Pandemonium, which is freaking amazing music. The final dungeon, the battle theme. I was like, oh my God, this is like a theme they use over and over in 14. And they made it a comical version. So it's super serious in 2, but then they made it like a kind of like a goofy version for like goofy scenes in 14. I was like, oh my God, it came from that. I was like, that was such a cool moment. I was like, oh God, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's just a game that asks a lot more of you, and I like the kind of like open nature of like how your spells, your gear. Obviously, I think the job systems that were to come later kind of streamlined that a little bit more. Yeah. This was maybe a little bit too open ended for I think for some people.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I mean, it was really cool seeing like, oh man, I'm super powerful with this spell now. I've been using it, or I'm proficient in all this different gear. This is sick. And I might have got a better weapon for this person, but like, I'm not proficient in it. I'm going to hold off and keep using older gear until I find a better opportunity to
well,
use
does it take a long time to, like, if your axe is low or something like that, does it take a long time to level it back up with everything?
You can get to you can, if you start like go to like a level 1 piece of like gear or weapon, you'll get it power leveled pretty quickly, like the further you are in the game, but like you won't quite catch up to the max level. But you'll have to be a little grind, but like I think they counted for that.
Okay.
And so
I wonder if they rebalance that or something.
Maybe. I don't know if the original version, because I didn't play the OG version. And yeah, just I was trying to think. I feel like I'm forgetting like something. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Letting into open nature, dude. 2 things. 1, you totally can. I said you can go anywhere, but classic game design 101. Maybe like FromSoft looked at this game very closely. This might be a little bit more unfair than any FromSoft game, though. You wander off too far in the wrong direction.
One shot.
Yeah, you get in that battle, you do
dead.
like 0 damage to enemies, they one-shot you.
That's
to hit.
funny.
So in the OG version, if you weren't saving, I can imagine how brutal that must have been. But on the flip side here, no encounters. You can wander past these areas and go to towns you're not supposed to go to.
Man.
So I tried it out, and it's like you can go
buy like really good weapons or something.
So basically, you go to the Dreadnought town, this town like about like a little bit later, and it has like it has the much better gear than what you're supposed to have. And I was like, oh
That's
my
so
God,
funny.
it was pricey though. I was like, I got one thing. And I was like, dude, this is going to be, did they not account for this? I was like, that might be a little
They
game
don't care now.
That's some good cheese.
That was funny as shit. I was like, oh my God, you can just like walk in the cave. But they do account for some of that. Because the code word system, some of it, like quests won't trigger. You can't. The dungeon will just be like, you're not supposed to be here.
That makes
You'll get
sense.
to like a barrier. It's
That's
like,
good, that's good.
no, well, you don't know the thing. Get out of here. So it being open like that, they still knew to lock you out of stuff like, you're not going out of order here.
And like you said, it's super expensive, so like you still got to put in the time.
Game and Ninjas Dragoons. You got freaking, you got Rickard the Dragoon. You got Wyverns.
Dragoons
dude.
are always
Dragon
the coolest
Wyverns.
character in every game.
So sick.
In every Final Fantasy game, they're the coolest character.
Yeah, Sid's got his airship. He's like, this is Sid in the airship start here?
Yeah.
No Chocobo
No
yet.
chocobos yet.
No
I don't think that's
Chocobo
till
yet.
like 3. Yeah.
Right,
Is there ever a Dragoon in 12?
I don't remember.
Judges.
The judges are like Dragoon-esque,
I don't know
I
if they're-
guess.
No, maybe one of them is. One of them probably uses a spear, but
Sick.
I don't know if they're like the Dragoon,
Yeah.
like a lore dragon hunter kind of thing.
What is Fran? I know her race, but what kind of job
I think she has
does
like a
do?
bow. She starts
No,
with.
she's an arch.
Yeah.
Ranger. Forgot.
But yeah, but you can use a spear in it.
Do we know if there's one in 16?
Well,
We've
saw
seen him
a
fight
yeah,
some
fought
like
a dragon.
Yeah, dragoon guys. Yeah,
Sick.
the Empire. That's what I'm saying. The dragons are always the sickest, dude.
Some like special forces
Yeah.
Dragoon unit.
Cane and shit, dude.
Holy
always, yeah.
crap. Dude.
Let's read this from Zach Wojnar. I want to hear what you guys think about this. I'm kind of into the Pixel Remasters, but the definitive 2D version of FF1 and 2 came out 16 years ago on the PSP. Likewise, I believe the definitive 2D version of 4, 5, and 6 can be found on Game Boy Advance. My mind is boggled why this project isn't an HD 2D endeavor. Are you satisfied with the Pixel Remaster, or like me, does the idea of a proper HD 2D version linger in the back of your mind whenever you play these games? Love and respect.
I am not the expert, but I absolutely love this package. I too had 1 and 2 on PSP. I had 3 on DS. And I just love this package because like we've been saying, Damiani, just the quality of life stuff, how it's all just easily accessible, you know? It's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, PC, like
Yeah.
just so easy to get back into it. And I like the vibe of like I think it hits the balance right where it's like, it feels like the original, but it also feels like new and
just some updated visual to look better on HD.
Yeah, but I still don't feel like it's sacrificing the original version at all.
Right.
The PSP versions.
But I will say really quick, when I get to 6, I'm gonna play the original SNES
Okay.
classic version.
Sure.
Because that game is so celebrated and loved.
Sure.
And I've never played it. So I think for just that one, Damiani, is that weird? Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's like the translation might be the
be
biggest
worse.
difference. Yeah,
I think they've updated them for these.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I feel like the Pixel remasters are the closest to the original versions of the game, but like balanced better, like
Just some quality of life
Quality
things.
of life.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be, I would say, like the comprehensive versions,
Right.
but like definitive in terms of like they were the way the games were like closest to they meant to be, but playable for modern audiences. The PSP ones, especially like 1 and 2. Like I looked at them, like they're more intricate artwork, but it's something that like clearly like strays further from like what the original games look like.
I agree.
I know Blood pointed out like these look like Super Nintendo, like they're trying to look closer to Super Nintendo than like
they
even
are.
NES.
Yeah, they are.
But like the PSP things were like looked like something you'd see like on PlayStation or
Yes,
something.
they did.
It was like way higher quality. Like mobile, they were on mobile. They like the smooth looking. They're not sprites. They're like artwork. Where this Pixel Remaster, it's like sprite work.
Yeah.
And it looks more retro to me and looks just more how I felt like when I played these games. And I think that's the feeling they're going for.
Totally game. It was a trip playing one. I haven't played it in so long. Damiani, yeah, it was so weird.
And these new versions offer you the ability to do the original music or the arranged versions
Love that.
as well.
Love doing that,
So
dude.
you
I
could-
think the CRT filter is like kind of low budget.
I mean, it's because you're playing not on a
Exactly,
CRT,
yeah.
so I mean, it's trying to replicate it.
But I wish you could actually do the like original like NES.
Oh yeah, I wish they had those.
Yeah,
Oh, a
of course,
toggle
that'd be
between
so
that?
much work.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
not
a whole
even
nother effort.
maybe not even
but-
toggle, just like separate things you select at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that'd be sick, but
Yeah.
I wish more games did that in general.
straight up.
Yeah, absolutely. But like Final Fantasy IV, like I even said, like the complete collection, like just has almost everything in it. So it's like a more comprehensive version, obviously.
definitely.
But like hearing about Final Fantasy IV Advance, like the advanced ones, I thought were like the worst because like I thought the ATB bars were glitched and shit on all those on 4, 5, and 6. So it's like they're like the hands down like the easiest versions because you can like abuse that system and get like multiple turns in before like an enemy goes and
Cheese it.
I don't know, like they did add extra content, so you
Right,
can,
that's
like,
what people usually
extra
say.
stuff. But to be fair, some of the stuff is like meant to either be like post game and or stuff that is not necessarily like useful to playing through the main game. It's just like extra stuff after, which is like cool. But like for the like just the actual
The playthrough,
main
going through it.
scenario,
Yeah.
I think you're like totally fine with these.
Yeah, and it's just so convenient now.
It's so convenient. It's so
if I wanted to
nice.
play these, I'm like, I think the Game Boy Advance versions are probably good. It's just like I have to go buy it. I have to play it on my Game Boy SP.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like that's totally cool, but it's like it's just so easy for Hubert just
Yeah.
to buy them right there, boot up, play on his PlayStation or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, I can't wait to play these.
Heck yeah.
I've just been staring at 5 on my bar.
So it was 4 here, 6.
No, 4 here was 2. 6 was 3 here.
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3 was that was really 1, 4, 6.
Correct.
Yes.
We never got
Okay.
2, 3, or 5 here until
That's why
way
3
later.
on the DS was such a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was the first time we
that was
got
the
it.
first time.
Yeah.
And then we
But
got
then now Pixel Remaster,
It's the proper
1 and
order,
2 and 3. It's all
Yeah.
just okay.
So it was weird here because here it went. We got Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3. Then it's just like Final Fantasy 7. You're just like, whoa.
well, PlayStation fixed it though because
did.
you got
The
you got
anthology
you,
collection.
you
They
got
did the
Final Fantasy
anthologies.
Origins, and then you got
have that thing.
you got 1, 2, 5, and 5, but you didn't get 3 until DS.
Right, I
DS
know
is
you've been
first
doing
time.
the same thing for trying to do it for 20 years. Beat every single Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Dude, this
And
is
I'm-
it now.
I am.
You're gonna be close.
I'm counting online games also for my list.
Maniac.
I'm doing that. The hardcore experience. I'm
Yeah.
beating 11, son. I've already beaten 2 expansions of that shit.
How many more are left?
Like 3 or 4 maybe.
Oh shit. Okay. But I'm ready to go.
But I love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun for
Can
me.
you solo 11
Yeah,
all the way to
I've
the end?
I've been playing solo like the entire time.
Dude, sick.
If you just want to do the story, yeah.
That's good.
Final question. State KM. Hi, allies. I just finished Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster and loved it. I really enjoyed experiencing the basic elements that gave rise to a series I now adore even more. Even the parts I did not enjoy allowed me to see how far Final Fantasy has evolved since the beginning. Has going back to older games in the series, or in a series, ever given you a greater appreciation for any aspects in later entries?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things to do on Earth. Is
You love revisiting stuff,
oh
for
my
sure.
God, and especially just seeing that progression and just this package is like a godsend because it is one of the most celebrated series of all time.
Yeah.
So, we've said it 10 times already, just how accessible it is to be able to get into. Like, you can boot up some
Unless
of these.
you have an Xbox only.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Then it's
Damn.
got to come to Xbox at some point, right?
I don't think so.
Dude.
Square Enix is not putting like any games on Xbox.
Phil, dude, shake their hand or
Phil's got to make some
something.
deal or some shit.
Yeah, that
I
is.
mean,
'Cause, like,
there's
just-
games on there
Yeah.
from them. It's
Because like 13 on Xbox, backwards compatible
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
like so many.
7, 8.
So
Yeah,
those
yeah.
PS1 games are, yes.
Yeah, So just
A lot of them are, but just not a lot of the newer
12.
stuff's not going to be on.
Yeah.
Seems to be on it.
So it really feels like, if you have a couple systems here
Yeah.
or the right
Yeah.
ones, you can really just
You
go
can
through this
play-
whole franchise.
Yeah, all of them pretty much on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to buy the games. You can't buy them all digitally, is what I'm saying.
Got it.
Like I don't think you can't play 13 on your PS5.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
You can't play 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
But no one's gonna play that except me.
Yeah, but seeing one is really
Tight.
awesome because one, Stranger of Paradise, we just
Hell
went through.
yeah, dude.
So that has completely changed the way I'm looking at the game. And then,
Jack.
like they said, of just how basic the game is.
Yeah, super basic.
And then just thinking about like where that goes.
evolution.
Thinking about, FF7 remake that just came out or 16 that is coming out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
14 that just keeps going.
It's a good time to be a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
I
a lot to
cannot
play.
stand how frequent random encounters are in those games.
I know.
The old
it's
ones?
Like so
Oh, yeah.
big. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy, man.
Is
Makes
just
Dragon Quest 8 seem like chill
yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
like walking 5 steps. It's like you just know. Like I'm going down the stairs. I'm not even gonna make it down the whole stairs before another encounter
Dude,
triggers.
It's brutal.
Yeah, but like to the question, yeah, definitely see foundation being laid here. It seems like 4, 5, and 6 kind of like put the package together. From like I don't know enough about 3 yet, but 4 added summons.
Yeah.
And kind of like had everyone like be role specific for a job. You weren't changing jobs, but like that was like more tied to the story. So, but then 5 introduced like the very comprehensive job system that people liked. And it's just kind of like gone back and forth between like alternating kind of between like, do we do like characters can swap jobs or is it like dictated by the story? And I feel like that was kind of like the template. But you see the same things like in other, for another series like Zelda, like leave Zelda 1 and 2. I know they're very drastically different games, but A Link to the Past kind of brought together elements from both. Like you took like the top down
sick.
structure, you gave it more, a little bit more focus, a little bit more story driven in terms of like objective based instead of just like completely free roaming. And then you saw like the magic and spells. Like there is a magic meter in A Link to the Past. Link does get items that allow him to do like magical abilities and use that magic meter, which is something you don't have like EXP and levels, but like then they worked in the combination of like the better swords and like gear, but also like putting like numbers by them so you could like tell like this is definitely like better. This is like higher, this will be more powerful. You'll want this.
No, it's all color-coded Destiny style.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
wow, this is like my earliest.
You mean the gear? Yeah.
Just like, oh,
Yeah,
orange
yeah.
piece, purple
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah. Very common.
yeah, Zelda 2 had towns with NPCs where you can get like quests and the same thing.
Yeah, not even thinking about like the evolution of Final Fantasy, but I also think about just like, video games. Like RPG in the 80s. Like, let's go. Where were we at this time? Where are we now? I'm always thinking about that stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty. The next game, very anticipated game actually. I have been doing the review for us. It should be up now when you're watching this. That is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes, dude.
So I played
Hyped.
a lot of this game in the last couple of days. A lot of this game. Good news. It's very good.
Hell yeah.
Surprise, I guess. So this is a direct sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Damiani, I know you haven't played these yet, but you have Fallen Order. You got it for $3.
$3.
And anyone out there, I would recommend definitely playing Fallen Order before this game. There is a brief recap at the beginning to give you, but you want to play Fallen Order to get all the bonds.
Continuation.
Yeah, it's continuation.
Right, I almost bought the book in between because I'm
Yes.
so hyped, but I've
Yeah.
heard it was like kind of whatever.
Yeah, like, I didn't feel like I was really missing anything.
Cool.
I wasn't like, I really wish I saw that
Yeah.
from kind of thing, because it's not like that,
Got
just
it.
kind of like, it feels like they don't expect you to read the book.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, I guess you did, but no, you didn't go through.
Chill.
I'm going to talk about just kind of early parts of the game. So I guess if you're semi-worried about spoilers, just heads up. But I'm going to tell you the very beginning of the game.
Cool.
It's Coruscant. The very beginning of the game, Huber. So yeah, there's some nice Huber pander in this game.
Baby.
Starting Coruscant, you just go through there. It's very like traditional, kind of like what you'd expect from Fallen Order. it's kind of linear at the start. You're going through your platforming, you're using the force to help you get through. You like push something out of the way to climb on thing. You're lining up signs to wall run across like that.
That's so fun.
It's really cool. So I think you'll like seeing all that. But the big thing around
looks sick.
Yeah, it looks really nice. It looks very cool. It's like they go down like into the city down below.
Yeah.
It reminded me of
Attack of the Clones.
No. Well, yeah, sure.
Such a good scene.
It reminded me more of Star Wars 1313. Like I don't know if you remember that.
Why you hurt me?
It hurt everyone. That whole scene of them going down like into the city. It reminded me of that kind of.
Nice.
But yeah, you get to the big thing about this game is like it's current gen only now, so it's nice and it shows a skate. Like some of the planets you go to are very big.
Whoa.
Very big.
Whoa.
You have a hub planet. It's like pretty damn huge, and there's no loading as you go through it. So you're just like running through this. Like some places are so big, you ride on like mounts. You get like animals you can just hop onto and ride around because everything is so damn big.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, the best thing, my favorite thing in the game is the town you get, dude, the settlement.
Oh, I'm so ready for this.
So you're on this planet. It's kind of like it's kind of like the hub planet, I would say. You return to this planet. It's the biggest planet, has the most going on in it, and you return to it often. It has the town on it.
Yeah.
You return to this town. So you got this town, starts real small. You get there, you meet some people, all that good stuff. But as you progress through the game, you meet new people, and you can recruit them to your town, dude. So they'll come into your town.
It's my favorite.
And you'll see them like chilling in the cantina. You're gonna love the cantina. Okay, hold up. Cantina cannot get a drink at the cantina.
Oh, fuck.
But you can lean against the bar
Okay.
and like talk to the bartender there, who's like a cool robot. So you can like
nice.
you can like perch up kind of.
Yeah,
And-
dude,
wait.
never pausing the game. Idle in the cantina, dude. Straight up, perch up, let it
like-
sit. Get my coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't get a drink though. So
No,
you
in
just
real
gonna-
life, in real life.
Yeah, Cal won't
Coffee,
have a
please.
drink.
You gotta so in the game, can you just like harass the bartender and be like, why can I have a drink, man?
No,
Well, be careful.
I don't think so.
You'll be dead.
Yeah.
No, the robot's very nice to you.
Okay.
He's really cool.
What do you like some more?
He's awesome. But yeah, Cal's great in the game, obviously. Great characters. Love the bonds. Some nice moments. I was very pleased. I was like, okay, cool, good stuff.
They were such a great, the Mantis, right?
Yeah.
They were such
The
a great
ship,
crew
yeah.
from
Yeah.
Fallen Order Survivor. Jeez.
Star Wars Jedi,
Star Wars Jedi, yes.
then Fallen Order, then Survivor. Yes.
Yeah, love that crew.
So combat, obviously very good again. Just more refined. So this game is, I think, better than the first game kind of in every way. It's just a more refined version of everything, just like bigger and better.
Does it feel, Brad, like Uncharted 1 to 2 or God of War 1 to 2?
Yeah, I'd say like 1 to 2 kind of
very
more.
noticeable?
So like, me saying Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 1 is like, I feel like Uncharted 1 was more rough than Fallen Order, in my opinion, and I feel like the leap from Uncharted 1 to 2 was like crazy.
yeah.
Like crazy good, and people are like, Uncharted 2 is still like the best Uncharted game, kind of thing like that. So yeah, it reminds me more like God of War 1 to 2 kind of thing.
Great.
But combat, still really fun, dude. Got your lightsabers. There's some new stances. I'll talk about one. I won't say the other one, but there's get a blaster, dude.
Yes.
Blaster and your lightsaber at the same time, man.
Okay.
So you can like get close and stab guys and go back and shoot them real quick, but you have ammo. And when you shoot, your ammo goes down and it runs out, but you can get it back by melee attacking them. So you're kind of like, you shoot,
Interesting.
and ammo goes down. You're like, oh, got my ammo. I got to get up there and poke, dude. Got to do a little poke. He does like a rapier stance almost with this. It's really sick.
Like a red mage or something? Like,
Yes.
like posting and shit.
He's
and
like doing
race
this.
filting
Yeah.
and like, let me dash in, baby.
That's exactly what it's like. It's like that.
Backflip, force backflip away.
You got your blaster, but then like you can charge it up too. Do like do like a bigger shot. Like, it's really sick. Yeah, I had a lot of fun using it this time around. It was sick.
Awesome.
Because I love Luke in Empire with the blaster and the lightsaber. I love that shit, dude. So it reminded me of that. I was like, yes, good job, Respawn.
When he shoots Vader, man, in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's Han, dude.
Yo, yeah, it is Han. Yeah, when they go
hand.
in, God, I love that so much.
Just grabs it, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so sick.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Some new force powers. One of the early ones you get is you can mind control enemies to attack with you on your side for a little bit. So there was like some stormtroopers, you know. There was like a flamethrower guy, dude, and I just did it on him, and he was like lighting up all of his buddies. Super fun. You could do it on some aliens, like big like reptile thing. I did it on him, and then he was attacking stormtroopers. Super fun. So the world is big like the original game. You know, it's interconnected, Metroidvania-esque. You know, you get some upgrades, you return to areas later on. It's cool because Cal starts with a lot of stuff he had in the first game too. So like, you start with the double-sided lightsaber. You have it at the beginning if you want to use it. You have he can do 2 at one time now, and so he's like dual wielding them, and you got the single right off the bat.
The duel I remember was like a move.
Yes, it was like it wasn't like a proper stance thing, but now it is.
Now you can pop. Awesome.
So the dual lightsaber is like really good for. It's very fast, and it has like. It's good. It has like a counter kind of thing. You can hold triangle and he'll do like a slow down thing and he'll auto counter someone like that. But it takes a second to set up.
Yeah.
Like I was using it in some bosses, but sometimes I'd try to do it and they would just be fast and hit me. And I was like, shit, dude, I got to like kind of prep for it. But they also have moves you can't block. Like they turn red Sekiro style and it's like, I got to just dodge or something.
Can you Makiri counter?
No, you cannot Makiri counter. Only in Sekiro can you Makiri counter. Only that. But you can like parry and reflect and all that good stuff.
I always bust that out when there's like a ton of stormtroopers. The double bladed.
The double blade's good with like mass enemies. You can like throw the lightsaber around you and stuff like that. It's really fun. And it can the double sided one you can just like spin your thing and block shots and like hit guys with like so there's like just like hit guys. There's guys with like Gatling guns and they have shields. And if you like reflected,
or whatever.
Yeah, if you reflect like one shot with the normal lightsaber, it won't do anything. But if you hold it with this, it'll like do too much, like reflects back at him, and it'll take him out. Nice. Essentially.
How many difficulties?
There's 5. There was 4 in the original. Now there's 5.
Sick.
So there's like a story mode.
Okay.
I played most of the game on the second to hardest.
Great.
I did do some of the hardest just to see what it's like.
Yeah. You can
manageable.
Change anytime?
Yeah, you can change anytime you want. Doesn't matter. Manageable. The hardest one would be manageable for you.
Great.
Except some like side bosses are really intense.
I bet.
I was just like whoa.
Or some of the side stuff
I was just like,
harder than
whoa,
the main game.
Kill me in like one hit, bro. I was like, okay,
Wow.
I'll come back later kind of thing like that.
Great.
But yeah, you can change it anytime, so it's good. So if there's like it's like the new one's story mode, I think. So if you just want to have a jolly time, you're just in it for the story, there it is for you.
Absolutely perfect.
So a new thing also in the game is this time around, there's like, they remind me of shrines from Breath of the Wild, Damiani. So there's these 2 things. There are 2 categories. There's like a Jedi-focused area. You go down like an elevator. It takes you to like a Jedi kind of like temple thing, and they're puzzle-focused in there.
Okay.
Cool. So you maybe push some blocks, you throw some orbs, kind of stuff like that. And there's these other things that are called force tears. You find them out in the world. You'll know what I mean when you see them. They're like little like weird freaking out. Like there's a tear in the force, essentially. Then you go in it, and they could be platforming challenges or combat challenges. So like the first one Damian and I did was there was this giant wall of red coming at me, and every time I would jump it would switch what side the red is on. So you gotta like platforming and like time you're jumping out and all that kind of stuff to make it to the end. And like the combat one is like, yo, here's all these enemies, just defeat them kind of thing like that. There's a time ticking, but I don't think it's a time limit, it's just how long it takes you to do.
Okay.
So you get upgrades from stuff like that.
Nice.
Way more customization for Cal this time around, and everything. Like, of course, you can customize your lightsaber right off the bat. All the colors you could change anytime at a workbench. You can change the way your lightsaber looks. You collect new ones, so you can get like a set. You're like, all right, I'm going to build this lightsaber like this. Cal has a ton of clothes and stuff you can get for him, dude.
Cool.
That like jackets, pants, shirts, and also his hair now. There's a lot of hairstyles. Like one of the earliest ones I got was a mullet. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Wearing that for a little bit.
Mullet and stash.
Yeah, you can get facial hair. Yeah, you can get like a big beard or a mustache, stuff like that. So just a lot more for Cal to deck himself out with. Platforming still a very large focus in this game. Like the first one, lots of jumping, lots of running, lots of like, there's like a vine there. You'll use the force real quick to pull it towards you and swing across. Just super cool. The platforming's really fun. It's never like, it's not Guacamelee humor or anything like that. Some of the challenge rooms I was talking about are the shrine. I did one. I was like, whoa, this is pretty intense. Shit. It's cool. I had a really good time with that.
Gotta stream Guacamelee. Fuck, it's so good.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, I feel like I can ramble on about this game kind of for a long time, but there is a lot to it. You can probably watch my review now if you want to like full thoughts.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed the first game, you're going to have a damn good time with this game. One of my biggest qualms though is this is going to depend on the person. So there is a normal mode and a performance mode. Okay. So normal mode's 30 FPS, and it runs fine at 30 FPS, totally stable. I think it's maybe 4K, I have no idea. There's a performance mode, it targets 1440p, and the frame rate is kind of like unlocked, it feels like. It's not locked 60 all the time. Some areas, like the more open areas, it'll definitely drop and be noticeable. It wasn't affecting me necessarily where I was like, it's affecting my gameplay. Like I'm doing worse because of the frame rate adjusting and all that stuff like that, but it is noticeable at some points. Mostly in the big open areas. A lot of the game is in kind of like smaller areas, you're underground or something like that. You're in like a base, it's very small. It runs a lot better, but it is kind of like inconsistent for right now. And I'm hoping they'll adjust that as patches come out, hopefully. But just letting you know, that's how it is on PlayStation 5. That's where I played it.
How's the dismemberment?
So the dismemberment's cool. Like, so like some, alien, like goofy alien, you'll like chop them in half. It looks sick. Some stormtroopers, you'll occasionally like cut off a limb. It's not like you're not like targeting a limb.
Yeah, it's not Zendatsu.
Yeah, it's not Zendatsu. You're not playing the Surge or anything like that. But occasionally you'll cut off a limb or something like that. Like an arm will go flying or something like that. It's cool. Yeah, it's just like seeing the stormtroopers get cut up is a little cooler now. I didn't see any of them get like cut in half or anything like that. I don't recall like a head getting cut off.
Tasteful dismemberment.
But there's like an arm gone or something like that. Yeah.
Best dismembered still, Way of Water.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course. The new gold standard. Yeah.
Any arms fly like that, like dramatic, like
I don't think that dramatic.
Dude, I hope he comes back with like a Barrett minigun.
I want to ask you something. You said at the beginning you were recruiting people to come to.
You're doing this kind of throughout the whole game.
So, do you have a choice in recruiting people? Can you like say no to some people?
No.
Oh, so it's like
they just
fixed?
you tell them about your outpost kind of thing.
Okay,
like,
so
I'll go there.
So like for there's not like you're not filling positions.
No.
It's either or,
no stress, no nothing like that. It's not.
Can you
have to think about.
Can you not recruit them? Or
I mean,
if
you just don't talk to them.
Okay.
Are there like secret side quests?
Yeah. So when you talk. This is what I like that I noticed. So if you recruit someone, they'll go back to your cantina a lot, or they're in town. If you talk to some people at certain times, they'll tell you about rumors. Like, yo, I heard about this, so and so and so, and I'll put a little thing on your map letting you know, like, hey, there's a rumor over here. So what I realized, I didn't see like indicators of people telling me like I have quests or anything like that. I didn't see like a thing over their head.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to talk to them.
Love that.
So, but like the game would tell you when you'd kind of come back, the game would be like, hey, there's new conversations or something available or something like that. So but you have to actively talk to people.
Great.
Which is awesome because a lot of the people are super cool. Huber? There's also a part in the game pretty early on, like halfway maybe. You're going to be hunting bounty hunters. There's bounty hunters.
Dude, I forgot to ask you. I was going to ask you
There's
about
some
that.
bounty hunters roaming around that you'll run into that you can defeat to collect like their pucks they carry. And you can trade these pucks in at a shop kind of thing like that.
My absolute favorite part of the first one, dude. Yeah. The duo.
There's more
bounty hunters,
Huber,
dude.
There's a lot of bounty hunters and a lot of like
shit.
raiders in this game. More kind of that stuff.
The bounty hunters were the best.
The Empire is still there, of course, but like there's just more going on this time around. Well, like I said, there's shops for all that kind of stuff. There's shops on other planets and stuff like that. Things to keep an eye out for. Obviously, as you progress, mobility changes. You get new perks, all this really good stuff. They're a lot of fun to use. Had a blast with all that good stuff. But yeah, I had a really good time playing this game. I think if you enjoyed the first one, you're going to have a damn good time. Super quality game. Respawn, once again, doing good work.
Heck yeah.
For the Jedi mind control stuff, does it? Sorry, I forgot. Does it show like a prompt over an enemy, or like? Based on what I know, is there anyone you can try and do it to, but they're resistant and they like don't?
Yeah,
do
some
it,
more elite enemies, it just doesn't work. It doesn't. You don't see like a symbol saying like, "Hey, you can't do this." You'll just try and it won't work.
Yeah, anyone to get like angry or something, like aggro you.
Yeah, but you can upgrade some force powers.
Okay,
because there's a skill tree and all that stuff.
Oh, that was my last question. Are all the planets hostile, or like can you go to planets and just like, because you have your hub town, but are there places you can go that are like civilized? Or
no,
like it's basically you go to a planet and it's like an arena planet, not an arena, but like it's.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's more than one place. Like the hub town is like the main thing, but I guess there's also another place you'll go to that's chill.
chill. But usually when you go to a planet, it's like fighting, platforming, objectives.
Usually, but like they all are. They're not as like the main planet with the hub is like humongous.
Got it.
And there's some other huge places, but not as big as that. But yes, that is like if you're looking for the town chilling,
like go to Coruscant.
Yeah, you're not going to Coruscant. You're not hanging out in a bar in Coruscant. You're not doing that kind of stuff.
Got it.
But
that's a good.
There are parts to chill at other places.
Sweet.
That I think you'll be happy with.
Sweet.
So, yeah, I can't wait for you to play this game.
I'm so hyped.
I want to talk to you about a lot of this game.
I've been saying like first session, 10 hours, all night long.
Well, it's out Friday, so it's coming up quick. Super good game. I'm sure there's a lot more. There's a lot to this game. Also, this game's pretty long.
Sick.
Definitely longer than the first game. I'll say that. So strap in. Also, there's New Game Plus and that adds a few tweaks.
Great.
Few different things that I won't spoil.
Awesome.
So please be excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, Huber, the next game, Dead Island 2.
Dead Island.
This recently came out. Blood reviewed this for us. He enjoyed it quite a bit. I've heard good things about this game, surprisingly, I guess.
Yeah.
This game had development hell, I would say. Went through many developers and all that kind of stuff, but it came out great, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about this?
Yes. I played this instead of Burning Shores because I'm watching my grandpa.
Right.
I only have my little monitor, and Burning Shores is a showpiece. So.
Yeah, exactly. You want to play in your 4K OLED with Burning Shore. I agree.
But this game is also a showpiece. It looks really good.
Yeah, Blood told me it runs pretty good, too.
Yeah. So I do not like the original Dead Island. Like, not a fan of that game, but I really like Dying Light 1 and 2. Like, a lot. And now I really like Dead Island 2.
Right.
And game starts, you can pick one of 6 characters. They all have their different vibe, different abilities, perks. They all have their specialties, different stats even. So I just went with the dude on the cover. He was like the main guy on in the trailer.
Not a bad choice, probably.
Yeah.
Cover art guy, usually powerful.
And I just like his vibe the most. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be with
Sorry, how many characters are there?
6.
Okay.
Yeah, and that, you're with this person the whole game, so it's kind of a big decision. You can't choose once you get locked in. So
do they have different like stat bonuses or anything?
Yeah, they have different perks. So mine is the more you attack, the stronger you get, basically.
Okay, it's a berserker thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Has the least resilience as well.
Cool.
So
Cool.
Sweet. Some heavy Ubisoft vibes, like, if you've played Far Cry or anything, you kind of know what you're getting into. That's how it starts. You get your tutorial, you're crouching under rubble, you're bashing zombies' heads in. But this is not an open world game, which I thought it was for some reason.
Me too.
But instead, it does huge open areas.
Okay.
And I think that was the smartest freaking decision the devs made here. Like, that really helps this entire game out because, one, it's not overwhelming. You're not dropped into, collectathon, here we go to this check mark, go to this check mark, going all over the place. It's like, no, you have manageable areas, and it also helps focus the story. So every time you get to one of these areas, you're going through a little arc. It's like, all right, I got to get to this person's house across town. It's in Bel Air.
Oh.
Got to get to this Bel Air mansion.
That is like a cool objective to me in a zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
Just make it to this place.
Exactly.
I like that.
Excellent, right? And then along the way, you can explore. The environments aren't huge, but they're really dense. So there are a lot of areas that you can, go in, little houses and search all around. There's like hidden safes everywhere.
Cool.
If you find a zombie and kill it, you can maybe find a key and get all that stuff. All of that is fine, inoffensive.
Yeah.
And I think because the game is not open world, it also helps alleviate that strain.
Being overwhelmed.
Of being overwhelmed with crafting resources. I'm swimming in all that shit. I'm like, resource management is my bread and butter. It's my strength. So like never once have I ever needed,
been worried or stressed.
I've never needed one thing in this game.
Yeah.
One difficulty too. So.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yep. I was looking for it. Couldn't find it if there is one. I don't know. But one difficulty. And the combat.
Yeah.
It's all about the combat in this
Right.
game. You are just brutalizing zombies. Brad, dude, just
Yeah.
like Dying Light. Fucking drop kick.
Cool.
Jump
Love
up.
the drop kick.
Dude, you can just drop kicking a zombie off of a building
Cool.
into, fire below is just, it's just awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
love zombies and I love brutalizing zombies. So if you even have a passing interest in that, definitely worth the price of admission there. The story doesn't take itself too seriously, which I like, but it also knows when to be serious, and that is huge. It's not one note. It's like, your character is like kind of joking around, whatever, like quips, of course, you know what you're getting into. But then, you'll meet a main NPC and she like wants to live, it raises the stakes. It's like, this is a person that wants to live. It's not, we're not all just joking around here in the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
It's like, no, people want to survive. People are dying.
You know what game kind of had a good balance, I thought? Was jokey and kind of serious was Dead Rising.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's like very goofy sometimes, but also like
ridiculous.
someone's getting mauled and you're like, whoa.
yeah, absolutely. Some Dead Rising vibes here for sure.
Cool. Oh yeah, because it's crafting weapons too like that, exactly?
Yeah, you can like put mods on them so you can make like your blades.
Okay.
Like
Fire,
electric.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Brass knuckles. Absolutely so fun to use. Like the combat is just really, really fun. So like you'll get the brass knuckles and you'll just like the feeling of it, the sound, the visuals. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Like
Sick.
crits will be even louder too. So you're just like critting in the head and like flesh is flying off.
What about the slowdown? So there's a lot of slow-mo from what I saw of this game. How's that?
So it happens whenever you kill like the last zombie in an area.
Okay.
It happens when you.
It's not like every zombie
It's
though?
not every zombie.
All right, sick.
Thank
Okay.
goodness.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. You have a dodge mechanic, and if you dodge correctly, you can follow it up with a counterattack, and then you can grab the zombie, and then there's some slowdown. So if you're doing that all the time,
Sure.
you're gonna see a lot of your Zack Snyder 300 slow-mo shit. But I usually, because my character as well, it's
Yeah.
more of like consecutive attacks make you stronger.
Got it.
But the grabs are cool. You'll grab a zombie and you'll just like stab him in the head, and you're like, it's just great. There's so
Yeah.
many weapon varieties. Big sledgehammer. There's heavy attack. Heavy attack uses stamina. Light attack doesn't. So like, whenever you do a big heavy attack, it's awesome. And I think the crafting and all that stuff is just whatever. I also think kind of the UI with your character, like in the menus, isn't all that engaging. You'll go to your character and it'll just like have some numbers. You can't change armor or anything. It's just weapons, which again alleviates kind of just the picking shit up and grinding and like all that is kind of stripped away. The main page for your character are the cards you slot in, and those are just your abilities. So you have your character abilities, and then you have other things that are like, when you dodge, if you do it correctly, you can gain a little health, and you can swap things out like that, do more damage, take less health, whatever. You can get like an ultimate ability. I got like a ground pound.
Sick.
Yeah. So
Love that.
yeah, just I'm having a really good time.
Yeah, as I say, it sounds like a good time right now.
Yeah, and again, I think the biggest benefit of this game is that it's not open world, know? I really think something would have been lost here if this game was open world. It would have just been more tedious, and at this point, it's just moving.
People can just hop in.
Yeah, the game is moving.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Damiani?
Yeah, it sounds like they got that pacing right.
Yeah.
Because it could have got like pretty old pretty fast.
Totally.
Like if it was an open world game. Like
Yeah.
when we first saw those footage of it, I was like, man, if this is gonna be endless of this, or is there gonna be a little bit more structure? So that's good to hear about it.
Anytime you get to a new place, it's like, oh, a new area. Like, this place looks awesome.
That gives them more opportunity to like kind of mix it up, because it's harder, I think, in an open world to do like that kind of more gradual transition.
Totally.
Yeah. The other thing, like the hyper violent nature, like the focusing on like just like the gore factor.
Yeah.
which is, like, what
the
you
flesh
expect.
system, dude.
Yeah.
Interesting, because like you weren't here last week when Dying Light 2 ever announced
they got, like, an
they
update.
are adding all the stuff that's like basically in Dead
Yeah.
Island 2. like the dropkick thing, like
their
they're adding
gore kind of
all
thing,
that
yeah.
stuff's going into Dying Light 2, because like, oh crap.
Yeah, like a gore dismemberment
Yeah,
kind of
they're
thing.
literally
Yeah.
the same now.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but like it goes to show how much like, oh man, we really need to like catch up to this, because
Yeah.
they are kind of showing us up, and given that development history there, it's like, yeah.
And when, Brad, you brought up Dead Rising, it's a great thing to bring up, because that too, when that came out, that was such a selling point.
Yeah.
Getting a lawnmower and just like mowing the zombies down
Yes.
was like highlight reel, you
Yeah.
know, or the samurai sword
loved-
obviously just slice them.
Yeah, I love like when we played it. Huber like just like, try this one out. This is my favorite. A lot of my favorites here.
fun.
That's also they added to Dying Light blueprints. They added crafting blueprints to make the like more.
I thought that was in there already. Maybe not.
No,
I don't know.
I think
I'm
they
not sure.
didn't.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I think Diamond is right, but I don't know what it was before.
yeah, they're
That's
just
nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, Dead Rising been doing it for a while. That's like just a thing. It is that you said for this game though that like the crafting wasn't really
Yeah.
standing out too much.
Yeah.
It was like working, but like nothing special.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. You know, it doesn't get me excited at all.
Inoffensive.
Inoffensive, and there's only a few amount of resources, which is nice, and you don't have to worry about armor. But usually, you'll get a couple weapons, and if you want to commit to one or two, you can just easily do that. So it does give you some freedom, which is nice.
Cool.
You can always like, I'm gonna pump this one up.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sounds fun.
fun
I
time.
want to play it sometime.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Okie dokie, it's time for Sort It Out. If you don't know what Sort It Out is, it's just a segment where we talk about something that's kind of bugging us in the industry. A game, could be a game company, could be anything.
Nice.
Do you boys have anything you want sorted
I
out?
got one.
Okay,
I got
let's
one.
hear it.
Locked and loaded.
Okay.
So Gabby and I went to London.
Yes.
I brought my Switch Lite
Yeah.
that was laying around the office.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, I'm gonna play some games on this.
Uh-oh.
So I download Doom 64. I download Dranius or something. It's Eurogamer, shoot 'em up, 10 out of 10 game.
Okay.
Don't skip.
Okay.
And Paranormasight. I was super hyped to play that. I really want to play that one, right? So I got a pretty good lineup here.
Yeah, 3 games, yeah.
3 games ready to lock and load.
Okay.
Get on the plane.
Here we go.
Yeah, you know what's coming. I get on the plane. Yo, we gotta check to make sure you can play this game.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Like online?
I was like, what the fuck is this? I bought
Verification.
the
Yeah.
game and downloaded the game. What is the
Yeah.
problem? It's like, no, can't play. You're locked out.
What the fuck?
Had to like verify some shit. I tried it on every single game.
Is it some setting because of your old Switch? Or
So
like.
if it's your secondary system, it's not your primary system.
Oh. That's what it is.
Yeah, you have to authenticate.
You have to make it your primary.
Your account has to be authenticated.
God.
And on your primary account, the only thing that has to be authenticated is when you do like Nintendo Switch Online or something. Like it just checks your subscription because you are doing that. But yeah, digital copies of games, if it's not your main Switch, you got to do that. So like when I had my Switch,
Didn't do
when
it.
I was using my Switch Lite before I got my OLED,
Yeah.
it was I made that wasn't my primary system, so it kept asking me every time I wanted to play anything that wasn't a cartridge. So
We're going
cartridge,
to make you a system your primary.
yeah.
in
But then the other
some
one,
shit.
because we'll switch, you
Yeah.
can only have a primary and a secondary, I believe. So
We'll just do it when you get your new one.
Yeah.
yeah, that way you don't have to worry about that. But there are some things that still have to authenticate.
I felt like such a fucking rookie, dude. I was like, what
it happened to
is
me.
this? I like felt like a parent or something, like trying
Oh,
to figure
man.
something out for their kids,
That's
and I'm
funny.
just like, I don't.
So what'd you do? Just sleep?
Yeah, watched the movies.
Okay.
And, yeah,
Nice.
slept and read a comic book. And
So I'm curious. So you're playing. How big were your seats? Do you have room to like move around or lay back at all, or is it
was
very
coach.
cramped?
It was like Coach Plus, so there was
Coach
just like a
Plus.
couple extra inches of legroom. But
Okay.
it was Coach.
Was it manageable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a full flight.
Cool.
You know, it was chill. Gabby sat in the middle because she was like, "You can have the aisle, bro." Like,
Gotta have the
go for
aisle.
it." Yeah.
Legroom, dude.
Yeah. Shout out to Gabby.
Damiani, do you have anything you want sorted out?
We already kind of talked about the Pixel Remaster physical edition. Like Square Enix is not making anymore when there's so much demand there.
Yeah.
At least with Metroid Prime.
Very
Remaster.
Nintendo move.
Well, in Metroid Prime, they fulfilled. They're like we just
Yes.
gotta wait a little bit, but
Never forget 3D All Stars, Damiani.
yeah, they've vaulted that.
Never
stuff.
forget.
Oh my god,
Probably
that's the only physical game I've bought in like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They scared you, dude.
I was terrified.
Yeah, they scared you.
Yeah, I was like, I got it.
Scare me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know really like sorted out.
I think
like,
that's a good sort out though, dude. Print more copies.
Yeah,
Fuck.
print more
yeah,
copies.
yeah. That's that.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, don't make
What-
it restricted.
Like, why are you helping the scalpers? You know, Square Enix. Why are you helping? Like print more to like put a stop to that BS.
So the argument I see thrown out a lot is
There's no defense for
scalpers
scalpers.
only exist because people pay for them. If everyone stopped paying, like buying, from scalpers, they wouldn't have any market.
That's a ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I feel like that's just not
That's like
tenable.
some fucking logic the Joker would say to Batman.
yeah, exactly. That is BS. Just like the scalpers are also the ones buying them all too. You know, they buy all the copies.
So, like, what
and then if you want the thing,
Yeah, like so. My counter argument to that is like, what happens if scalpers just bought everything in existence and then like you like don't pay them anything? Like, well, then you can't get anything. Like, like where does it end? Like, that doesn't. And you're like, why is it on people to solve that problem? Like the consumer, like it should be on other forces. Should be like stepping in.
Well, like,
and
guess
do
what's
something.
happening now with PlayStation 5, dude? Scalpers are like, fuck. Because
Now they
they're
gotta
not as
sell-
hard to get anymore.
Now they're gonna sell them at a discount.
Exactly.
They move on to
Well, they move on to something else, but yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for the Switch 2s or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
Whatever the next system will be.
yeah, it's just annoying because like concert tickets, same kind of
Oh,
thing.
God.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
gross.
Is the worst.
Gross.
It's like, dude, they've got
That's
their
gross.
army of bots and
Yeah, it sucks,
they get
dude.
all the
Also-
tickets,
it's
and you have to
ridiculous.
pay like 4 times the
Ticketmaster.
price if you want to see a band you like.
Yeah, print more copies and fuck you, scalpers.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yep, I agree.
Stop it.
Scum.
All right, this is from G the Finger. I thought this one was funny. Sorted out gamers. Yeah. You, the one listening, stop being so horny on main. We don't need to hear you say, I know where Ganondorf can plunge his sword after every major game trailer.
What the
Being hot for a game character is fine, but good lord, every character? This isn't country buffet of video games and video game TNA. Show some restraint, you thirsty goons. Twitter has enough problems. You think this is a public forum to talk about how much you want Cammy to spiral arrow? I'm not reading that part. Take a cold shower and sort it out.
All right, projection 101.
Hey, nothing wrong with being horny,
No,
but excessively, I guess.
there is like that's like people's identity, I guess.
Yeah,
Some people. Like I know most people are just fucking around,
Yeah.
whatever, just joking.
Yeah, that's
But I mean, this to me is a joke. There's joking
that
too.
is super funny.
It is funny though.
Yo, Ganon, dude, unit.
Rehydrated, yeah. Yeah, he's like the most jacked he's ever been in the Zelda game, as far as I'm aware, and I'm into that.
Samurai vibe.
Yeah, he's a katana. I was hoping he was gonna have his trident because it's the classic
Dude, maybe he'll
Ganon thing, but maybe he'll bust it out later.
bust it out, dude.
All right.
He'll find it.
But the Yiga clan uses like katanas, so it makes sense to me. Just like the Sheikah, I guess.
dude, it's gonna be like a freaking Gray Fox scene with Ganon. Where he's
Gray Fox?
cutting people down, dude.
In the hallway, dude?
Yeah. Cutting Yiga clan down, dude.
All right, this is from Joey Traverso. Sorted out. I don't know if there's exactly a way to sort this out, but review bombing in Metacritic user section sucks, especially because so much of it seems driven by homophobic / racist / intolerant sentiments. Seeing users review bomb the Horizon DLC because of this is truly disheartening, but it feels like this happens to at least several games a year. It's so dumb. Stop doing it. Life is short. Do something better with your time. Sort it out. Review bombing is like, I mean, I guess you have the right to express your opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Like, why are you doing that?
Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't review bomb something like.
Yeah.
I may not like something like, let's say something comes out I don't like, I just don't like it. That's it.
That's it.
I'm not gonna like fucking review bomb it.
Exactly, Brad.
But like, I'm not gonna stop you from doing it. But like, I understand. It's like it's a catch-22 kind of thing. It reminds me of Metacritic. I think said they're gonna like try to address this in some way. I wonder what they'll do, kind of thing like that. But yeah, it's just fucking weird.
I've never once ever used a user review in my. I've never looked like what are you doing even caring about?
I wouldn't check
user
Metacritics.
reviews?
If I wanted like user reviews,
Steam user reviews.
Yes, I would look Steam more likely.
Those are the ones where I'm like, okay, I'll look at a couple individual
There's
ones.
joke ones for sure in there and things like that. But it's like, I mean, Metacritic, like, it's usually people just freaking out about scores or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Never.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's all madness. All right. This is from Mark Gecko.
Yo.
Sort it out. Fewer and fewer retail games have barely any files on the disc. It's only a few megabytes, and It's only a few megabytes, and you have to download the entire game. For many, it's not a big deal, but for some, it is.
That's why I stopped.
Love and respect from Germany.
Yeah, I love that sorted out. It's like, what's even the point of getting a disc now? If the game's not even on there.
Well, also, like games update so much that
Some insane game anymore.
you have that
35 gig patch.
Yeah, you're not even
because you got
playing,
devs
the
updating their games. Like, how long is Dying Light 2 going to get updated? Not that it's not a problem, but like, that game's going to get updates for like 5 years.
Yeah, Dying Light 1 was updated forever.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're moving towards, like, even if it's like a single player offline game, like they lock you out from like playing older versions. They can detect, like, if you ever really connect on like, oh, there was a new version for this and we detected you didn't have it, so you gotta like upgrade before you could like play this game. Like, that's even getting more annoying too.
Last one is from Son of Sparta. I'm curious what you'll think of this, Damiani. Sort it out. Did you know that Xenoblade Chronicles 2, its standalone story expansion, Torna, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and its future Redeemed story expansions were all released after Nier Automata? Yes, it's been that long. It's baffling that it has been 6 years since Nier Automata. Is it Automata or Automata? I know it's Automata for the actual thing, but I've heard people call this Automata.
It's called Nier. Just call it Nier 2.
Where the fuck's Ben? Let me ask Ben. We still haven't heard okay, so it's been 6 years since Nier Automata's release, and we still haven't heard even a whisper about a sequel. They recently announced that Nier Automata sales just passed the 7.5 million mark. For comparison, that's more than the vast majority of Final Fantasy games. It's more than any Dragon Quest game ever. Yet here we are. No new mainline Nier or Drakengard game in sight, while Yoko Taro is busy dropping lore bombs and important backstory about the ultimate villains of that world in the Nier mobile gacha game. Square Enix, for the love of God, sort it out. They did do Replicant, I guess.
Yeah, that
in the meantime.
Count that. It's like when people are like, oh, there hasn't been a GTA in so long. It's like, yeah, we got Red Dead 2. You know?
But it's still been a long time.
It's been a long time.
But those games are massive.
Yeah.
And they have online, I guess. They update all the time.
It's just weird. Square Enix wants, like, bigger games.
Yeah.
And they have one,
a
franchise that
has a rabid fan base that are willing to pay up.
My thought on this is that they are at the top of the mountain right now, and they don't want to rock that boat, and they're going to wait until they get it right. Because if you come out with a game that's anything less than Nier Automata,
You mean on a console?
Yeah.
Because they put out like mobile games and shit.
Yeah, like a real deal
follow-up,
follow-up,
whatever, yeah. Okay.
I think you run the risk of maybe damaging the brand a little bit. I think Nier's pretty untouchable in that sense. It's not going to like damage your brand, but also like riding that fame, dude. Yoko Taro's top of the mountain right now.
Yeah, maybe they're just making
You have a lot to lose. You have a lot to lose.
That's true.
Maybe they're just making a lot of money off of Nier licensing.
Yeah.
I mean, just put 2B in everything, and like they make money from that. Why move on when they're like still able to like milk this?
Well, just make
look at it like Mario Kart. You know. Just like keep
Well, Mario Kart's at least putting new content in, I guess.
They put Yorha Edition on Switch last year.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Like maybe they'll do like a HD remaster.
Just make
a
remake,
and they got to remake this one now,
dude. Just make a new 2B like they did in 14. You had 2P or whatever. It's like if you love that character so much, you want Mario, just make another one. They're like fucking robots. You can just make whatever. Oh, there was one more. This is from Neo JK. Sort it out, Xbox. I don't know what's going on, but games can't keep skipping your platform. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. Oxenfree 2 was one of them. That's not on it. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's on Netflix, and that caught everyone by surprise, but
Whoa.
the company's
Love
owned,
Oxenfree.
but they are owned by Netflix, so it makes sense to me.
That's coming up in June or just in the July.
But it's going to be on like PlayStation and Switch and PC, I think.
Dude,
But
I'm ready.
yeah.
That was in the indie showcase
Yeah.
at first Switch.
Yeah, it was. So, yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. Devastating. You know what Xbox has, though, that PlayStation doesn't? Rogue Legacy 2.
That's true. That is
Not
true.
all bad over there, dude.
It's on Switch, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Switch and PC, not on PlayStation.
Not on
Interesting.
PlayStation, yeah.
Came to Switch the day Huber was like, "Not on my Switch," and like got like dropped
that's
that
funny.
day, and it's like now it's on there.
That's true. That was a
I
good
heard
game.
Huber.
All right, it's time for Keep It Up, which is the exact opposite of Sort It Out. Something positive that we're like, hell yeah, doing good work. You guys got one? Anything that you're like, fuck yeah.
A lot of games right now.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, keep it up.
Keep it up.
Yeah, the storm's coming, dude.
Yeah.
The storm is coming.
Big time.
Survivor, I think, is the first wave. Then we got
Redfall right around the corner.
Then Zelda.
Zelda is like literal days away.
I'm gonna drown.
I can't.
And
Zelda's like a tidal wave that's gonna consume me, and like I'm gonna hit a rock on the bottom of the ocean floor. It's gonna be too intense.
it's like ridiculous. The Pixel remasters came out last week.
Pixel Remasters
We
came
got
out.
the major story DLC that's
For
big. That's bigger
Xenoblade?
for Xenoblade 3. It's bigger than Torna, which was like a
Good Lord.
30-hour game.
Yeah, good
Horizon
lord.
as well. Huge
Horizon very
DLC.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they got that.
Game industry
And you
firing
said
off.
Zelda. Then you got Redfall.
Yep.
And then you got Street Fighter 6,
6,
Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16.
So
I mean, come on.
It's ridiculous.
Why?
Yeah.
So
Oh, I didn't know. I just found out like Elden Ring DLC has been in development since April of last
Yeah,
year,
a
so
year.
maybe it's further along than we thought.
Maybe.
So,
Let's see how big it is.
Summer,
it's,
dude.
Keeley Fest gonna
Yeah.
drop.
Oh
that
yeah, you know
knowledge.
Keely for sure wants that.
Oh,
Keely wants those from soft bombs. He knows. Catho Fallon said, "Keep it up, indie devs making interesting horror games." That's it.
Keep it up.
Yeah. What was that? The horror game. I played it, some of it, and you played it. The first person zombie one. What was it called? Came out like a year or two ago.
First person.
It's first person. It's like in the mansion kind of thing.
Oh, Nightmare of Decay.
Nightmare of Decay. That's right.
So sick.
Yeah, that game was cool.
Really good
I didn't
game.
finish that.
Yeah, game is awesome.
This is from See You When I Get There. Keep it up to Huber and Gabby for coming to London and letting me buy them a drink and a cocktail. Hanging out with the community was the best, and a bonus. Keep it up for all the people who traveled all across England for it too. Keep it up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shout
Very
out.
nice.
People traveled far.
Far? Wow.
Many hours.
Wow.
Each way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was so jolly.
Sick, dude.
It was so jolly.
Oh, someone wanted to know, I think, what arcade games you were playing or something there?
We did a full playthrough of The Simpsons.
Okay.
Mr. Burns fucking annihilated us.
Yeah, it's brutal.
We died so many times. I didn't know it was 5 phases. 5
Quarters, baby.
5 phases, Burns.
Hey up.
Played Point Blank 2.
Oh, yeah.
Played Tekken Tag Tournament. Played Crazy Taxi.
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty cool
Had
arcade.
a 4-player X-Men cabinet that I did
Okay.
not play. They didn't have the 6.
Not the true.
Didn't have the 6. And,
Compromised.
Slightly compromiser. And that's pretty much it. They had some other ones. They had like
That's a good
Outrun
selection,
and-
though.
Yeah. Great selection.
This is from Obisco. Keep it up. Nintendo's online store limited edition pre-order. Thanks to an Interact system. I can't even read right now. I was able to pre-order the Tears of the Kingdom Game Collector's Edition. I jumped through a few hoops, like code verification, but did not need to hurry and still got my copy. Anything to make it harder for scalpers. Nintendo, keep it up. All others, sort it out.
Nice. Get those scalpers.
Get those scalpers. This is from Christian Davis. Keep it up. Short turnaround times. Shadow drops are one thing. I love a good game releasing out of nowhere, but sometimes the docket is just a bit too full to play a new title with no heads up. Getting anywhere from a few months to maybe even a few weeks gives a chance to decide for sure on what purchase or not, or what to purchase or not, or just to help build that juicy anticipation. Recently, it feels like aside from a few select names like Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3s, when games are on a larger scale, content updates are revealed. We actually get to play them pretty quickly. For those who don't follow rumor mills, most recently examples are things like Octopath Traveler 2, Metroid Prime Remaster, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Pikmin 4, Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed, and to an extent even Final Fantasy 16, which is a far quicker turnaround for the series. Mainline announcements to release in the last few may have had us worried over. I guess 16 was faster. We saw that 2020, I want to say, in September.
The first time was it 2020 2019? I forget.
It was the PlayStation big thing before the PlayStation 5 came out.
Yeah.
Which was PlayStation 5 came out in November. Something like that?
Of 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That is shorter than
3 years. Yeah.
15. Well, 15 changed the game completely, so I guess it's a little unfair. So I say to keep it up to devs and pubs. It's always great having things to look forward to in the near future. Yeah, sometimes Shadow drops are it's out right now. It's well shit, I don't have time to play it right now.
Yeah.
Hyper Rush was kind of like that. I was fuck.
So busy.
Bad time for it to come out. I did play some of it, but not as much as I would have liked to.
Same. I only played the first boss, and I was like,
but it's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely need to go back to it. All right.
Fallen Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor, yeah.
I've just been counting down the days of that,
Yeah.
My deck, it will be cleared for that.
Yeah, the sweet spot, I like announcements that are here's the game, it's out in 6 months.
Totally.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Really sick. But every game's different, the cycle, so not everyone can do that or afford to do that.
Yeah. Hopefully Naughty Dog is just hey, remember the Last of Us multiplayer game
Factions.
we're working on?
I think for a multiplayer game, it's really cool to drop it immediately.
Yes.
For multiplayer. Just to get people playing it.
Please show it to us, Naughty Dog.
They will. You're just begging, dude. Please, sir.
Please.
All right, we got some shout-outs, as always, in our Platinum Producer tier, I believe what it's called. I always forget. But we got Jabbawabs. Sorry, that's how you say it.
Wabs.
Elthanas, Greg, TheDarkKnight Kettering, Raymond Wheeler III, ZeoVGM, Ghost Samurai, and Garrett Hulfish. Shout out. Thank you very much, as always.
Big time, thank you.
All right, Damiani. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, dude.
Sick.
Finally came out. It was delayed for a year.
Yeah.
But now it's finally here.
Yep.
Tell me about it.
Okay, I haven't played any of two.
Just one right now.
Just one right now, and very early into it. So we'll probably have to give it another visit on Frame Trap
just
when I play more
talking
time.
early impressions.
So
right now.
I'm just in the early hours of the first campaign. It is a strategy game. I don't even say it's not strategy RPG. It's strategy game. And it is for someone who plays a lot of Fire Emblem. It is a different beast. It is a little bit. It's complicated. It's more complex in a different way, in that it is a grid-based map. So it looks the same. You move different types of units around. You see their area of influence. You see the squares where they can move to, where their attack ranges, where enemy attack ranges are. That's kind of, and there's stats on each unit. But that's kind of where the similarities end. Because Fire Emblem is a very two-dimensional fight, in that units go head to head with each other, and they just have kind of 2 dimensions of you got to really worry about. Even in the ones that have topography, it's not 3 dimensions.
Say that word again.
Topography.
Yeah, I like that word.
Yeah.
I need to use that in something.
Good word.
So
topography.
It's the y-axis.
Final Fantasy 16 or Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom. You could probably bust that one.
Yeah.
Out.
So everything's on an x-axis basically, moving across a grid, and you don't have to worry about height variance. Where in this game you have air, land, and sea. And then units can interact with your own units can interact with each other to do other combination of things as well. Then you have commanding officers who have special abilities that you'll see power up. So essentially, in the nature is you need to either defeat all the enemy units on a map or capture their headquarters. And that's like the big different concept. For someone who's very familiar with Fire Emblem, this is a new concept to me, is that there are these things called cities on the map.
Yeah,
they're either neutral, they're either yours, neutral, or enemy.
Yes.
And to capture them, you have to stand on them, initiate a capture.
Freaking like in the windows, dude.
And it's like your each unit has up to like 10 health. They keep it kind of simple like that. But like a neutral city has like a value of 20. So it'll take 2 turns of capturing it to like fully convert it to your side. Same with an enemy one, it'll be at like 20. And like if you take damage, you can only like capture like 6 points of it. So you got to capture 20 points of it. You're still vulnerable and you can't leave that space. If you leave that space, like I thought you could like, oh, one unit captured it, my unit's right next to it. I'm going to advance that unit and switch this unit, resets it. As soon as that person confirms a move off of that space, if it's not captured, point value goes right back up to max. So, and enemies can still attack you during that. So if you die while trying to hold it, you didn't fully capture it. That's and those points are where your units, if they're under your influence, can regenerate health. So that's a common thing in Fire Emblem, like the castles. You'd regenerate health on those, but also resources. You had durability in Fire Emblem, but you like don't have like ammo that you have to like resupply in battle. Your mechanized units only have so much ammo, and there's fuel as well. Like they can only like go so far, and you have to like refuel, restock up after certain attacks. Now there are units that can travel with them to kind of keep them going. They like the APC units. You can have that. So you have like infantry and like mechanized infantry who just have like rocket launchers. Then you got like tanks, like light tanks, heavy tank, like middle tanks. Then you get heavy tank later. You get scout jeeps like that can drive out and go a little bit further. APC, which can resupply, but also like a single like infantry can get into it, travel with them further, and then they can be deployed out. So if you want to get them a little bit more mobile. There's terrain in this, so there's also like forest where you get like a little bit buff. There's mountains which give you a better advantage. There's some stages that have fog of war as well, so you got to take that into play. And then on top of that, there are aerial units like helicopters and gunships, like and airplanes, and then later on, I haven't gotten to yet, but they're like sea-based vehicles as well. Now, after a certain point in the game, very early on, besides cities, you'll have like bases, and if they're under your influence, you can spawn units from them. And at each turn, you accrue points, and then you open up the base menu, and you can see how much it costs to spawn a single unit, and it can't act on that turn. Next turn, they'll be able to move, but then you can spawn another one, and that's how you can like kind of keep your forces. Because I felt like you kind of, as a first-time playthrough, you're going to like lose a lot of forces in the course of like a regular battle. Like Fire Emblem was about, nope, don't want permadeath, don't want anyone to die. This game is like, nah,
disposable.
Everything is pretty much disposable. You want to sometimes you want to sacrifice something. Like they even teach you early on, like kind of boxing in a devastating enemy unit to keep them from moving. Actually, is a trick that you could use to like, because if you just get to capture the base, you keep them occupied. You just sneak right over to the base. Boom, you capture it. You're done. That's all you have to do. So there is a bit of risk reward. So the strategy element in this, I feel, is way higher than in Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem has obviously like strategy, but I do feel there's one of two ways. Brute force is where like you just like you have stronger units, and like as long as you move slowly across the field methodically, you'll just annihilate everything. Or you go for like the fast strategy where it's like this is very risky, but if you don't have the right units to do the right things, you're just gonna get like annihilated and leave yourself exposed. While that still holds true here, I do feel like there's like multiple different things you can do. You can try and box in enemies. You can try the rush strat where you try and like send in like infantry in fast moving units to get them over there faster to try and secure their cities and their bases so that you lock them out of that. And you're graded on this too. So there is a ranking system. You earn points for speed, power, and style. and it's up to 100 points for each, and you get a ranking from S to I think C. I don't know if you can get below C. Anything. I've only gotten a B, and I assume there's a C. But in those points you earn, there's a shop in the main menu where you can buy like music, art gallery stuff.
Fun.
There's new COs, but I haven't unlocked any of those yet that you could buy. And then there's maps for this war room mode, which is basically like a U versus CPU, just like a bunch of challenge maps, and they get like some of them looked insane. And then there's a versus online mode as well, where you can unlock maps for that too.
Cool.
So that's kind of like the incentive to play better, is you unlock a bunch of content. And then, yeah, as I said, like you go against enemy COs, and they also have special abilities. So your first one you go against, named Olaf, he has this thing called Blizzard, where he just like covers the whole map in like a snowstorm. So your range is just
terrible,
inhibited, so you can't get across. And his units have a bit of an advantage. Your first commanding officer, Nell, she is Lucky Star, so your units will like maybe do more crit damage, like they'll crit better. As Andy, who's like the main protagonist, you're a mechanic, you can repair, so you can like heal up your units on a turn. And there's this dude, Grit. He's like a sniper dude, and like he has like these like range rocket units, and like when he uses it, they can like their range is like the whole map all of a sudden. So it's like, oh crap, you better be careful. And I even saw like one this like eagle dude who was from another faction, and he did like lightning drive, and I wasn't quite sure what that did. It just looked really cool. But yeah, you're basically like the Orange Star Alliance. You're this country. There's like 4 countries, and the Blue Moon has like invaded you, and like you're kind of fighting. And Blue Moon is kind of like supposed to be like a fictional Russia, which is probably why this game wasn't released right away, because of what happened. And then the Eagle guy was from like the Green Earth group, and then there's like another country far away that I haven't been to. It's even like
Fire Nation.
Yeah. Probably the Fire Nation. They're gonna come wreck us. But yeah, the maps get like more complex. As I said, there's terrain, like also roads. Vehicles go faster down roads. So like if you try and put them through the rough terrain, they're gonna move way slower. But you put them on the road,
more space.
They get more space. But like obviously there's more units set up across there. So it's like juggling units who can interact with each other. So like when you have 2 damage of the same unit, you can like join them together to combine their health.
Well, yep.
Yeah, and it's like, so rather than sacrificing 2 low level, because once you're like below like 4 HP, you're pretty much dead on your next turn if you're in range of anything. Like you're just gonna die. So it's better, they explain it's better to you to like merge together, lose that unit's ability to move that turn, but like, hey, you healed up, you're gonna survive the next wave at least. And once you unlock bases to start spawning more, that becomes like losing units either through death or by merging them. It's not the end of the world. Also, these turns takes way more turns than I'm used to. Like Fire Emblem does go for a while. They usually have like a 20 turn limit before you fail. Some of these, like, I was getting up there and I'm like, damn, this is this fights. Normal? Yeah, they're longer. And as I said, I got a glimpse of some of the more complicated maps in the war room, and like I thought they were all like these little tiny maps. Oh man, some of them got like gigantic. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna get huge. Yeah, and like there's a lot to pay attention to, because you saw some of me playing me playing a little bit of it earlier, Brad. Like helicopters have advantage against tanks, like airplanes, like certain things can even attack other things. So like for me, it's a big learning curve right now, just learning the ropes of how everything works, plus how many intricate moving parts. And I can see why so many people like this who are big strategy fans.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Damiani, like top 3 handheld games of all time for me, for sure. You know, I'm not big on handheld games. Advance Wars was the one like I played more than anything else, because it's cool too, because like sometimes you do one map and it's like, all right, I'm good for a bit. You know, go through this whole big, you know, gauntlet of capturing and everything. It's like, all right, good for now.
Very easy to replay past mission 2. So if you want to get like not only just to get a better ranking, but you can farm coins like that to go back to the shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really convenient and nice to do. The animations really good. Like this version, like it's updated.
The portrait things looked really good.
Yeah, portrait animations are great. The CO animations are really cool. I had them turned off, but like the battle animations where your team just like rolls up and then it does a split screen thing and then they fire. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And you can even like hold down one of the buttons to speed that up as well.
Nice,
there's a fast forward.
Cool.
So there's a bunch of customization with that. There's a lot of like intel options you can do in between turns as well. And like there's a glossary with all the terms you can review if you forget something. And then, there's eventually you're going to get airports and ports. And that's where you can start building like aerial vehicles or sea vehicles. And I imagine it's going to get like insane having to deal with those multiple like, air, land, and sea threats all at once.
How do you feel about the visuals of this game? I saw some people complaining about it, like the way units look and stuff. They said I think some people said they looked like toys almost too much.
They do. I think they look
compared to the original style.
So I haven't really played the original, so I can't speak to that. But they definitely have like a toy-like aesthetic to them.
I like the original look more, but I'm not
sure.
Yeah. It's not a huge deal.
I do feel like the looking at on just the map looks good to me still, and then as I said, the character portrait stuff still looks really good. And I'm a person that after I've seen a unit's animation like 2 or 3 times, I turn it off. Once I get to, I've seen all the aerial ones. I haven't seen the sea ones yet because I haven't been to one. Once the sea mission happens, I'll turn them back on to see those, and then they're going back. I have it like Fire Emblem style where like units on the map just hit, you see the damage go out, and that's it.
I get it. Yeah, like you're doing for like 20 hours.
Yeah,
like,
these maps are really long. Like you're spending a lot of time on it. Like I get it, but some people like that. They appreciate it, and it's there for you if you want it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amount of content that's in there because they have the second game, which I haven't even touched.
Yeah, I never played that
You
one.
can just jump to it. It looks like it's locked out, but it like just gives you a big warning message saying, this is going to spoil the first game. Like the beginning of this game will spoil the first game.
That's
so
cool.
we highly recommend you play through 1 first. It said like there's the war room with all the individual challenges online. The extras room you can do as well. You can create your own maps as well and share them. So it's a pretty comprehensive, collection here with a lot of stuff to do, and I'm not sure how long this is. I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty long game just for the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just like I said, it's a bit of a learning curve. I'll be brutally honest. I'm playing on casual because I was told there's only casual and normal, and 2 people I know who love this game and know I love Fire Emblem are like, it's not Fire Emblem. If you think you're just going to play it like Fire Emblem, you're wrong. They're like, you should really start on casual. And then once you like don't have to think about stuff, like when it's clicking, you can change it anytime, bump it back, bump it up to normal, they said. So, and I've struggled a bit on casual because I'm still learning some things.
Sure.
But it's starting,
starting to
I'm
click
pretty far
slowly.
into like the first countries, the Orange Star campaign. So I feel like once I've spent enough time with the C stuff, I'll get it, and I can switch it. I can bump it back up to normal.
Chris Park wrote in, "Hi Allies, is it too negative to say I'm disappointed in Advance Wars Remake? As far as intelligent system remakes, it feels the most bare bones and least feature-rich game. The game is mostly the same right down to not even having basic audio options, and I was hoping for at least minimal quality of life like attack range toggles that were present in all intelligent system remakes, or maybe Shadow of Valentia in Fire Emblem 12 was just too much of an upgrade for me to expect better."
Okay, so I didn't know this wasn't a thing. I thought maybe I didn't.
Yeah,
done the options.
you're still learning.
So if that's not in there, that does kind of suck. So one thing I was looking to see how to do, literally what we were playing before we started recording, was there a way to toggle on, like there's in the Fire Emblem, there's a way to toggle all your ranges, all your units' range of movement, and keep it on. Enemy range of movement and enemy attack things. And there's like 3 different things, and you can cycle through them. But you can hold down the ZR button, I believe, on any unit, and it'll show you its radius. But once you try and move that unit, it goes away. So you got to kind of like memorize it.
Right.
Oh, that's how I was doing. I'm like, there's probably an option I'm missing. So if that's not there, that kind of is a bummer. Like that seems like something that really should be available, since so many more recent games, especially intelligent system games, strategy games, have been utilizing that for a while.
Yeah.
And since I didn't play the originals, I don't know how much they've changed. But if all this stuff I'm talking about was originally in the OG versions, then I guess that's a disappointment for original fans that they're not adding a lot more. I think it's just, for someone like me, it's good that they're re-releasing it in some capacity. Yeah. It's easier to get because, who knows? Maybe they'll add the originals to the GBA service at some
that'd be
point,
cool.
and I can compare someday. But if the fact that you would need the GBA versions to play it right now, if it wasn't on Switch, it's just an easier, more accessible way to play. But yeah, I think from a first-time perspective, but that's the thing. People who've already played it, they had that awesome experience I've heard so much about. So for those looking for a little bit more, I definitely can empathize with that's something you're looking for a little bit more of, and they're not quite delivering. So on that front, I could see how this could be a disappointment. But for first-time people, I think this is, a really good way to try and experience it so far.
Yeah, it looks a lot of fun. I want to get to it someday. It's just
Pixel Remasters took its spot for me.
Yeah.
Well, I played 2 of the Pixel Remasters, and I was 2/3 of the way through 2 when I got the code for this, and I was like on Friday, and I was like, I'm finishing Final Fantasy 2 because if I leave that game, I'm not jumping back into that. Let me finish 2 and then jump back into that. The problem is though, I want to keep playing this. And I will over time, but literally later today, they're dropping the Xenoblade DLC. But I don't think I'm even going to go to that right away.
Right.
Because I didn't play the first 3 waves of that yet either. The hero, they're hour or 2, kind of hero side quest storylines. And then you have this meaty extra mode. It's like a second game pretty much. I'm probably gonna have to wait till sometime after all the June stuff is done and wait for so I could sit down and really appreciate it. So I feel like between now and Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like I have enough time to get through probably Advance Wars 1, but Black Hole Rising is going to be waiting for me. And it's a direct sequel from what I think I understand, because they're going to spoil the first game. Yeah. So it's I really want to spend my time with this. It's just again what we're talking about. So many damn games coming out that this. It's great they're trying to get this out, but would it have hurt to wait till August for this? Really? When I have a little bit more time? Does Nintendo know something I don't know?
Yeah.
Probably yes is the answer.
Yes, that is the answer. All right, let's talk about our final game, which is Dredge, Huber. I've been curious about this game.
Yes, dude, I'm so hyped for this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You said this was a GOTY contender?
Straight up.
Okay.
Absolutely one of the best games this year. Do not sleep on Dredge. Do not skip Dredge. Dude, could not stop playing. I played until 7:30 in the morning. Could not stop. This game is so addicting. It's just one more. So, presentation, kind of you have your little boat, okay? The premise is you get washed into this, you there's some fog, you crash into a little port town, and the mayor is yo, we patched you up, here's a little tugboat, and you can start paying us back for a little tugboat. Go out and fish. So when you're fishing, it's 3D, you control your...
Yeah, it looks very nice.
It looks so nice. So you get your little fishing boat, and you go out and you fish, so you'll find a spot, you'll do it, and it'll be a little... They change a little bit. Some of them are the lines will go up, and you gotta time it right there. Some of them will go back and forth. You gotta hit the little green area. Super snappy, super fun, really good economy. The conversations and stuff, think Citizen Sleeper vibes.
Okay.
So no VO.
Yeah.
You'll talk to someone, it'll be little flavor text of you skulk to the windowsill and notice something inside. Someone will come out and be like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. You'll get missions, and there's a day and night cycle that's very important, because this is some horror elements to this game.
Some fish come out only at certain times and stuff like that.
Some fish are only at night. You'll get side quests that'll be yo, bring me back these fish. So really good quests, and just the atmosphere and the gameplay, all of it is so addicting. You cannot stop playing this game.
So tell me,
So there's
Go ahead.
There's inventory management. You'll go out, you'll get some fish, you'll bring it back, you'll sell it, you'll get money. Then you can upgrade your ship. More inventory space, more engine space, because like you have your engine, which is how fast you can go.
Right.
And then you have your fishing poles, which are where you can fish. So some of them are like shallow water, coastal water, deep water. So you'll have to have the right tools for that. Then you also have like a light spot. So at night you can like use your light to kind of, you know.
Sick.
It's a really cool mechanic because rocks will just appear right in front of you. Like you'll be going along with your light, and then, you know, if you don't have a good enough light, like you have less time to react.
Yeah.
Because when you hit a wall or something, costly, dude, costly. I like found some really good stuff. I like blew up a rock, found some good loot, and I was like backing out, and then like ran into a rock. Oh, the thing you just found and like worked towards, like it's gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So then you have to like repair your ship. You know, sometimes your engine will be botched, so you're like tugging along. Penalty of death, super chill. Just go back to your last save.
Cool.
No big drama. But
Hold on
the
a
threat
second.
is still there, yes.
So we're talking about consequences and all that stuff now, and we're talking about a tidal wave of games.
Yeah.
We forgot about a game in the tidal wave,
What?
Darkest Dungeon 2. Just a quick shout out to Darkest Dungeon 2, because that's going to consume Mike here. Fuck. I want to play that game too, but it's coming out.
The 7th, I believe.
Yeah.
8th, May 7th or
Pretty
8th.
close to Zelda.
God. The good thing about Darkest Dungeon is it can be like you're all in side game,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
because of
that's true.
runs.
Yeah.
The runs of it really, really help.
You can just let it like simmer on the stove.
Exactly.
Just let it-
Exactly. I
Just
still
fun.
need to beat 1.
Yeah. It's too late, dude.
60 hours in.
It's too late. You got mental damage already.
I know.
Cal's waiting.
Yeah. I'm gonna stream the Darkest Dungeon though, because I have like a bunch of high level dudes.
Yeah.
So once I'm done watching my grandma,
Alright.
should be next week.
Sorry for that side detour.
Yeah, good
Well,
detour.
Back on.
So Dredge though, it is just so addicting because of the objectives, because of the progression, leveling up your ship and everything. It's like you go out, you fill up your hole pretty quickly. You go out, you'll catch the fish, you'll be full. It's like, okay, go back, sell it, okay, go out again,
Yeah,
go back.
I guess can you just explain like a run or so?
Yeah,
What
so
you do normally?
So there's like a big map.
Yeah.
Open sea, I
Yeah.
guess, and really cool map. I like the way it all looks. You have your main town that you start at in the beginning. It's in the dead center, and then there's 4 other biome zones that are
Okay.
like all different from each other. So there's like a volcano one that I haven't been to yet.
Sick.
There's one that's just got like a lot of rocks and little intricate cave spots. And each time you get to one of these, you can go to the little ports, talk to a new set of people. They'll give you quests. It feels nice when you just like, you know, get to a new area. The music is so good. Like, that's what I'm saying, GOTY contender, because just like top to bottom, this game is excellent in every single category. The atmosphere, the mechanics, the story is like really engaging. I'm like, what the hell is going on in this area? Like, I want to progress for all of those reasons. I want to progress because I love leveling up my boat. I want to progress because I want to know what the hell happens next. I want to progress because I want to see the new area to get to, because like you start out really restricted. Your boat does not go very fast, and night comes up quick. And if you're out at night, it is deadly, dude.
Cool.
The fog is intense. Your character starts stressing out.
no.
Oh no, it is Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, there's a stress mechanic. It's like a freaking dude. It's like Sauron's eye, like
Oh
in the
my
middle.
God,
and it's like
dude.
looking and like freaking out. I have not gone like fully mad yet. I don't know, like resource management. You know, I always make sure to get back in time.
Yeah.
But I have been caught out there, and my character started to like see shit.
Oh,
there were like things
shit.
popping up where I was like, dude, what the heck?
Sketch.
Yeah, so just top to bottom, this game is absolutely incredible, and I guarantee it'll be on my top games of the year when this year is all
Must play,
said
it
and
sounds
done.
like.
It is a must play.
All right.
$25. Got it on PS5. I think there's.
I think it's on everything.
Yep, I think it is on everything.
Cool.
Shouting from the rooftops.
Cool,
For
yeah, I
this
wanna play
game.
this.
I like. There's all these games to play, and I'm just like, dude, Dredge.
I almost bought it
Yeah.
like a week ago, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
for sure.
But yeah, I do want it.
And I think it's like 12 hours or something. Nothing insane.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
So fun.
Cathal Fallon wrote and said, Dredge is and does an amazing job with horror, similar to Sunless Sea, but manages to play better with one simple difference: no fuel or food bars. You are only worrying about time as you do your quests, and that's a welcome change from trying to reach a port only to find you run out of fuel or your crew are about to mutiny you. What games can you think of that could lose a hunger meter and become amazing? Ooh. Hunger meter in games and become amazing?
It's tough. I don't know, because I don't play a lot of that.
That's like reminds me of like survival games.
Yeah, I think of Don't Starve, and I would never get rid of it in that. Don't Starve is fucking perfect.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Subnautica. You gotta like drink water and stuff like that. But I feel like it works pretty well in those. Yeah. It's like part of the game, I guess.
Even Valheim, like maybe if I played alone, it would have bothered me more. But I was with
someone helping out,
Isla carrying, and everyone.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head because like Minecraft, you got to eat, but it's like not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I can't think of any right now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can't quite think of anything. I'm like, dude, this sucks without it.
Yeah.
But the no fuel thing sounds pretty nice in this.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just like, okay, how far can I get without it turning dark and my character just going insane? Because again, like leveling up your engine.
That's enough to worry about, it sounds like.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yes.
All right, it is time for some emails. If you want to send in an email or sort it out or keep it up, patreon.com/EasyEyes, $5 and up. You get to send in questions for this show, the Easy Eyes podcast, reaction shots, I believe, is maybe on that too. You tell me. Anyways, and also the Discord, you get to join the Easy Eyes Discord, which is very sick. All right, first email is from Brandon K. Gain. Hello, everyone. As I type this out, I am in the middle of Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, and it's a solid DLC. According to the timestamps on my save file, I haven't touched the game in a year until this came out. So in that vein, what do you think is the optimal amount of time to release post-launch content, whether it be patches, modes, multiplayer modes, or full-fledged story campaigns? And as a bonus, what has been some of the best DLC you've enjoyed? Personally, I'm partial to Borderlands 2's Tiny Tina Salt on Dragon Keep, Mass Effect 3's The Citadel, and The Last of Us Left Behind. Thanks for taking the submissions if you do, and stay easy, fellow allies.
I agree with Citadel and Left Behind there for sure.
In terms of like post-game DLC, I guess it just depends on what the content is itself.
Yeah.
Like, big story.
I think a year is right there. Right.
I think that's like on the edge.
Right
very
on the
edge.
Yeah, right on the edge.
If possible. Like, I like the idea of getting a game and it's like, that's the game they made. They didn't like make the DLC also and just wait a couple months to release it later on and charge you more.
Yeah.
It's like Elden Ring, Elden Ring they didn't start working on until April, I guess. The rumor is, and like that was after the game had been out, so it's like, yeah, it makes sense. It's cool. It's cool it's probably good for the company to have DLC that's pretty soon after it to keep people engaged in it.
Yeah.
Because I did see people were like, Horizon's been out for a year and I forget how to play Horizon, and it's like going to be hard for me to go back to the game.
I see that fear. You got to conquer that fear. Because
I think you play for like 20, 30 minutes, you'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you'll be fine.
Exactly.
It'll come back to you.
And those DLCs do such a good job. I'm thinking of Iki Island to start you over in a way, not like progression-wise, but it's like, it's going to ease you back in. So yeah, Iki Island, absolutely one of the all-time best ever.
But if you're talking like a mode like the Mercenaries, we got that like a week or two later. That was cool for that kind of mode.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on the mode or what they're adding specifically.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I do think years kind of like... I feel like it has to be a huge game and it has to be a huge deal. It's like Elden Ring DLC is like one of those outliers where a year or more... where it's like almost like an expansion worth of content.
Yeah.
But generally, I feel like a month, like within a month after release, like if it's anything that's just like an extra mode or extra like maps or something, you should probably get that out sooner than later. I feel like too many publishers wait too long.
Too long.
Pandora's box with this question though.
Yeah.
Ancient Gods, Doom Eternal, some of the best of all time. The Assignment and Consequence, Evil Within, some of the best of all time. all the From Software DLC, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3,
Yeah.
Bloodborne,
Yeah.
top tier.
Sekiro. Oh, wait.
Hey, they added that arena thing.
They
or
did.
whatever.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It's
That was
not
cool.
like story content, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, best DLCs and like expansions. Obviously, all the From Software ones are very good.
Sir Alone, dude.
Very
Sir
good.
Alone. Artorias.
Yeah, definitely. I think about like expansions too. Like think about when Burning Crusade came out. How sick that was, dude. Wow, what a moment in time. Like Wrath, great moment in time. Like
Going through the
perfect
portal,
moment in
dude.
time. Yeah, it was super sick. And obviously Damiani, like 14 expansions, crazy good. What's your favorite one? Heaven's Ward or Endwalker?
Between Shadowbringers and Endwalker,
Okay,
probably.
yeah. I think Endwalker's my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Those expansions, like multiplayer expansions, like I think,
Yeah, of
different
course.
category. Like even like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Same thing, like with the
Yeah, Sunbreak,
Break,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Iki Island. Very cool. Really loved Iki Island. Really sick. Did you play that, Damiani? I forgot.
No, I didn't play the DLC.
You played the base game, though, didn't you?
Ghost of Tsushima,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sick game.
Lost in the Damned, Ballad of Gay Tony.
I never played those,
Undead
dude.
Nightmare.
I never
They don't
played
do
those
anymore, do they?
No.
They stopped at 4, right?
4 was the only one.
I think
Yeah,
they'll
really.
they'll probably never do that again, will they?
They're online focused now.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Those are so incredible because they highlight a sub-narrative from the main game.
Yeah.
In the main game, Nico encounters these diamonds. It's like a subplot of the main game, and then those expansions like
Flesh it
deal
out.
with those diamonds.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, did you know that like that's inspired Breaking Bad Better Call Saul? Like seeing like expansions like that, how they focus on smaller characters.
He called out GTA?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, dude. Wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if Vince killing you. Look into GTA.
All right, this is from Philip Skies. The fourth and final wave of DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is coming out soon, but despite being a big fan of the whole Xenoblade series, I've been waiting until all the DLC is released, patched up, and bug fixed before I start the game. I played Xenoblade 2 when it launched, but seeing all the quality of life updates the game got after I had already beaten it made waiting until Xenoblade 3 was complete an easy task. Looks like those Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters have been cooking for just long enough now too, with this font update and whatnot. Have you ever deliberately chosen to wait before playing a game you were interested in, and how long was the delay? Love and respect.
We talking about Witcher now?
You can talk about Witcher, you can talk about Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
whatever you want to talk about.
Cyberpunk is like the best.
You waited a
absolute-
long time, yeah.
I waited a full year.
Because you started it when it came out, right?
Yeah.
Then you're like, no,
And I'm like,
I'm
no,
waiting.
I'm waiting.
Because you were playing on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah.
and it, going through that with even The Witcher 3, where it was like, Witcher 3 was good when it first came out, but it still took a month and a half, 2 months.
Especially on
to-
console.
Yeah, to really get there. So originally my plan was like, okay, wait a couple months.
Yeah.
That turned into
Years.
an entire year plus, and it worked out in the end.
Yeah. You had a good time with it. You had a good experience.
Yeah.
What about you, Damiani?
Oh, I mean, this is I haven't played the better version. This is also Final Fantasy 15.
Ah,
Waiting
yes.
for that
Wow.
that version with everything.
Royal Edition.
Yeah.
You
I
waited
didn't-
till Royal Edition?
No, I didn't, but like
no,
I
he
know
played it when it came
people.
out.
But like I did play when they did the performance patch to play it at 60 frames, which
Dude,
was
I
like
mean-
nice just to see that.
I only played it when it came out. Yeah.
Same.
I
Yeah,
do
but,
want to
like,
revisit it.
Adding in all like the extra like chapters, like
I never
all
did the
life
DLC,
updates,
yeah.
like all the like the DLC, even though they didn't finish all the DLC.
Right.
Comrades,
Comrades sucked.
Comrades suck. dude.
Comrades sucked.
Damn it.
We were so excited. You were so excited. I feel like I knew it was coming.
I was happy we at least played it with Jones, dude. It was fun having Jones
forgot
there,
he'd play
dude.
with us.
It was sick having him there, dude.
Jones, I think, was like, nah.
Yeah. Jones, straight shooter, dude.
You want to
bad.
stop it first. Yeah, he's like,
It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, it sucked. Cool. All right, this is from Ricky Maru. Following the state of play, Final Fantasy 16 passed Tears of the Kingdom on Google Trends in the United States and worldwide with a search ratio of 4-1 at the time of writing. It's only one metric, but it is possible for Final Fantasy But is it possible for Final Fantasy 16 to reach the heights of Switch exclusives in terms of game sales? Could it reach 10 plus million units in a similar time frame as Zelda? It feels like almost every series is growing and setting records for itself, so it's fun to see Final Fantasy back in prominence as well and respect.
This will be the biggest Final Fantasy.
So
It could be, but
I think it will be.
the PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
it's the install base is much lower. Much lower.
You
For
can only
now,
sell so many,
this game could be... I think it'll sell very well. Don't get me wrong when it comes out. I think it'll sell very well.
Yeah.
But I think this game could have legs. Like, just sell well over time, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to surpass Zelda in sales, especially with the Switch install base right now.
yeah. Also, which came first, the state of play, the most recent state of play for 16, or that
They
Zelda
were like,
trailer?
I don't know. They were like the same day, I think.
Were they the same day? Yeah.
Do you
I think Zelda was in the morning, and I think state of play was the afternoon.
State of play was after. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Do you think
I
Do you think there's a human out there that owns a Switch that will not buy Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes.
Yeah, my brother.
Whoa.
Because he hasn't even played Breath of the Wild yet. He owns it, but he hasn't played it.
Okay.
But my brother, like, I don't know if he's
Yeah.
even like played it. His kids play it.
I think there are people who played Breath of the Wild who didn't like that direction they went in and see Tears of the Kingdom and see it's more the same and they don't.
They're gonna
really
play it,
want
dude.
that. They'll hate play it
Yeah, they're gonna play it. They're gonna see
Yeah.
it's gonna be out, and they're like, "All right, I'll play
The
it."
zeitgeist.
so they can
Yeah.
review bomb it on Metacritic.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. When Link makes out with a Goron,
Like they
dude,
actually
they'll-
gonna because they actually
review bomb
because
it.
those people actually play the
Let's
game
go.
before they review bomb it. Yeah. Why wait?
Dude, Goron love interest. Let's go.
Hey, the Goron hero has not been shown yet.
That's true.
Let's go. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Love the Gorons.
Yeah, me too. They're so sick in Breath of the Wild too. They're so sick.
Yeah.
They're wearing like construction helmets, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I think 16 is gonna be a big game. I think it's gonna put Final Fantasy back in a better light too, like the mainline games.
Wait, was Remake 7 on Xbox?
No,
No.
PlayStation and PC only.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of, but also kind of not, because Sony probably paid a lot of money to be like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
this is ours.
And it all goes back to the PS1, the origins.
Yeah,
there.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy has been on PlayStation since 7.
Yeah.
The prominent thing. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, it is interesting to see and nice to see 16 getting so much praise now. Or I guess it's coming up. People are excited. It looks good. So, I mean, you got Zelda in that, like my favorite things ever. So it's like everyone loves that shit. We're eating good.
Yep.
We're eating good, boys.
Resident Evil was like 3
Yeah.
years ago now, it seems like.
What game? Resident Evil? What? I don't remember that. Dude, I played that game a lot. That game was sick. Yeah. All right, this is from Bam541. Hi, allies. I've been slowly going through Wild Arms 1 and dig the story in this
Dope.
game. There's a lot of interesting lore and themes, and many future events are foreshadowed quite well in optional dialogues. I had this game installed for so long, and I haven't even played it yet. Damn it. But I was just like, want to get to you.
I know.
But it leaves a ton to be desired in terms of character depth and emotional impact, since there's not enough dialogue and story moments that flesh out the characters further, and I feel disappointed that I can't connect with these characters as much as I wanted. My question is, do you have any similar experiences with a game where you felt that it needed more content in order to properly flesh out the story? If yes, what's the game? And what new content would it need? Love and respect. Wish you guys all the best. I always think of Xenogears right off the bat. Just like needs more.
Sure.
But what you're smiling?
Well, I just talked about it. Just only played the original version of Final
God.
Fantasy 15.
Woo, yeah.
I mean, but it did get that stuff.
I was connected with those boys.
Yeah, I don't know if it needed more content so much, but like having the same problem where I couldn't like connect to characters was Fire Emblem Engage.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially compared to Three Houses. But that was just like, I think, a design choice
Absolutely.
rather than a lack of content.
Yeah.
I have two kind of.
Oh, let's
First
hear it.
one is Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Because of the main quest, it's not long enough. All the
Sure.
side stuff,
It's like
you really get.
Skyrim, you know?
Yeah, the side stuff.
Skyrim's not very long, if you think about it, but it's like you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So I connected with V a ton.
Yeah, of
Because of the side
course.
stuff, and I did every quest available in that game. I did, but it got to like I cleared everything, and I was like, hey, back to the main storyline, and then it's like over.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Like,
Okay. Damn.
And then I wish there was just a little more there. Kind of like Mankind Divided. Like it needed like one extra story arc, I think, to really solidify. And then of course, the one that always hurts, Phantom Pain.
Ooh,
devastating.
Whoa,
devastating.
that's the answer.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like
that's the one.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
That one.
You just scrapped the ending of the game.
Yeah, that one really still stings to this day.
That leaves a sour taste in my mouth of the Metal Gear franchise.
Same,
because that's the last one we got.
Yeah, it does, Brad.
A game that like doesn't feel necessary really at the end of the day.
Because Guns of the Patriots is like, to me, one of the
wrap up, dude.
One of the greatest endings for a franchise.
Great ending.
Of like to me the best ending to a franchise of all time.
Bro, the graveyard chills.
That's everything. I don't think any franchise has ended better than Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. And then they opened up that
box
again and then left that sour taste. So, yeah. Damn. Yeah.
All right, final question.
That's what happens. Like, going back to Nier Automata. You know?
Oh, you wanted more time?
No. You make another game, and all of a sudden,
sure.
All of a sudden, it's like, dude, we had this perfect thing, and then all of a sudden, it's like not as perfect anymore.
Well, I guess Nier's weird because it's like the Drakengard games too, and it's like,
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with Nier, so
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
All right, this final question is from Danny Betkowski. Love and respect, allies. My question is, for someone experiencing Resident Evil 7 and 8 for the first time, and only time, would you recommend first person, third person, or VR? For background, my gaming time is more limited than I would like, but I already own both games and absolutely plan to eventually play them. I don't really have time to replay games. I am currently playing through Elden Ring and RE3 for the first time. P.S. I played Chain Echoes right after release and loved it. Nice. My personal favorite of 2022 so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chain Echoes.
That's
I gotta
right.
get to that, Brad, for you, man.
Someday.
For you, brother.
Someday.
Play...
So RE7 and 8.
First person. Got it. They're first person
I would
games.
say, do first person. I mean, 7 you can only play in first person.
With 7, though, use the VR once in a while. Bust it out here.
If you have it.
Out there. If you have it. Yeah, not a deal breaker whatsoever.
Like, I played it the first time not in VR, and it was still good. But you played in VR the first time, and you loved it.
Yeah. But I think you can have the best of both worlds there, where it's like, okay, maybe, I get to this part, and I'll put it on for an hour, and then I'll just...
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Village, I think. First person,
I would play 7 first also.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're connected. You should play 7 first.
And
7's great. Really good.
So good. Has aged well.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, I really like 7.
Yeah, 7's good.
I like 7 like more now than I did. I feel like I would love that game.
Sure, yeah. All right, that is it for Frame Trap. Thanks for listening, everybody, or watching, or whatever. Thanks for supporting us. We appreciate it. Do you boys have any closing thoughts or comments or anything like that?
Play what you want to play.
What you want to play.
There's a tidal wave. Play what you want to play, but Tears of the Kingdom.
Watch out for the rocks at the bottom of the ocean floor.
Yeah.
That wave's going to be powerful.
Yeah.
It's going to sweep you across.
Holy cow. So many games.
So many games.
I think Jedi Survivor coming out right before the levee breaks is essential.
Yeah. I agree.
Like 2 or 3 10-hour sessions will get it done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right, everybody. We will see you next time. Take care.